welcome to
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
If you have questions or comments, we have multiple ways we can be reached. Twitter is, of course, the best way for those who need instant gratification, and the show's Twitter feed is at SkimPod, SKIMPOD.
Stays Crunchy.
For the more patient amongst you, the email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Crunchy again being spelled with a K.
Crunchy.
Hey, feel free to give us a call at 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311.
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
We're available by Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, anywhere fine podcasts are available. And of course, at the website, stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share wherever possible, including on YouTube, where we can now be found at Stays Crunchy. And over on Twitch, where we're still Stays Crunchy and Milk. Our personal Twitters are
Tatum 216,
Lunchbox 2099,
The Real ODP.
And I'm your host, the Internet's Tayrell 713.
Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays
For street niggas who put their lives on the line, for young guns coming up during these times, for police who find drugs let niggas slide, for niggas out slinging like 4 in the night, for your mans not snitching when the pressure is tight, for pistols that don't jam when it's time to strike, for bootleg liquor on a Sunday night, this be the realest shit you heard in your life. Yo, when the gas reveal, your cats get peeled, and that's the deal. Fuck a bitch ass that switch fast, niggas lack the real. When the slugs burst, G-Rap be aiming at your mug first, niggas is bloodthirst. We'll see who gets plugged worse. We dug earth, the place you put a nickel plate into your facial. Bullets ain't racial, kid, they only hate you. My now don't seem like it's a time machine, BC dates you. Jacking you more than Ripper. My fist and organ shifter. The human organism lifter. You'll be hearing organs if you're leaving orphans. If you let these fours hit you where the Lord split you. I forbid you to bump heads with those that dump lead. Accurate shot in back of your knots. Leaving one dead. G-Rap, Havoc, and Prodigy. Let's put these bitch niggas where bodies be done. So if it's gotta be, it's gotta be. Hello and welcome to it. This is Stays Crunchy Milk. It's episode 430. And we're the mobile platform that provides high volume. I'm joined by my best friends. It's Tatum 216.
Hello.
And Skim's seventh man, as we just did the math recently, it's my man Chaffee of Cadillac on Mars fame. What's good, homeboy?
Yeah, I'm good. You know, actually, I think you need to introduce me properly now that I've
hold on.
a new title.
Let me do that again. Let me introduce y'all to a California podcast legend.
Put some respect.
Put some respect on his name.
Now that I was given a new title, you know, I mean, you can't just. It's like you're in a doctorate. You can't be going Mister anymore. You call me Doctor, you know. So it's just like I've been bestowed the title of legend. So it's just like it's got to be put in the name. So that's just how I am out in these streets. But you know, I'm proud to be the legend in California because I know I'm not strong enough for the whole United States yet. But it's coming. It's coming.
Hold down the West Coast, and you know you got love in Detroit and Chicago, so it's like you got this.
Yeah, I mean, and I, you know, it kind of feels like I could skip over some of those little red states, you know. So I guess West Coast, Midwest, I could lock that down.
There you go. Hold it down like steel. But we had it. Oh, you're wondering where your other two hosts are. Well, Dan's not feeling well, so wish him well. Nothing bad, just standard not feeling well. So we wish the best for him. And Gabriel got shit to do. I mean, plus he on the road and so forth and so on. But you know what it is. I should get an episode of On the Road with the Real ODP if he is not present on the show. So that actually means you'll probably get one of those somewhere in this very program. So that's lovely, is it not?
He's in Florida?
He is in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, I was listening to the last one. You can definitely tell why Gabe locked down 4 kids. That is definitely like a pillow talk hour for him and his wife. Yeah, he definitely be using his sexy voice when he talking. It is an insight I don't know if I really needed to know.
I truly laughed because I actually talked to him about it the other day. That is one of the ones where I was like, oh, I can see y'all love. Bright as a fucking bulb right there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all really had a vibe going, and I can see it. So you're right. That is the getting them pants move.
Yeah, you say love, I say lust. I can hear it.
It all works.
They definitely probably got it in after that episode.
Oh man, I wish he was on though, because I got so many questions just about like. I mean, you guys know I come from like the educational world, so I'm just like, what's the homeschooling like? Like, what's the like? How does the structure go? But I do have to like give him a huge shout out though for just like for doing this adventure. I mean, that's just wild, you know. And then to hear like the experiences they're having, like you know, like all stigma and like stereotypes aside, you know, it's like, oh, we're when he said, "What do we had? We had a great time in Mississippi," and I'm like, "Word? Like, is that possible? I thought it was like only if you were like melanin deficient you would have a good time out there." But
I mean, that state is the state where the most black people in this nation live, but yet and still.
yeah,
So, so it's got some situations going on with it.
just to hear his adventures, the things he's doing, trying new foods, like really like showing how each state is a different culture in a sense, you know, like I mean stuff he was sharing, I was just like, this is really really neat, and it sounds like they're truly soaking it in and not just being tourists,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So and again, just for doing it, like that's just scary, man.
You know what, and that is exactly what it is. Like his I mean, not to be talking about it like in third person like this, whatever. But I mean, that was one of the concerns I guess his people had for him. You know what I'm saying? It was like, bro, this is wild, man. It's kind of a scary ass thing. And he's like, well, I got my family with me. It's less scary because I'm surrounded by my folk. So
Yeah, because I guess no matter what, they can always retreat back to the vehicle and kind of shut the doors and live their life, just like as most of us would with our home. The kids are there, so it's not like he's fucking you know, a musician out on tour. You know, it's just like, damn, wonder what my kids and my wife are up to, type of thing.
Yep.
So it's good. It's good. Like I think that's really really cool. Except they need to stop fucking collecting animals. Like that needs.
Well, again, they have not.
No, but I heard about that flea-ridden dog. Nah, man, walk away from that.
that whole conversation had me upset in a way that I was like,
you were hot.
I should not be this mad about something that has no bearing on my life, not at all. But yeah, it's just how much I worry for my mans.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
No, I was gonna text you on that one because I was gonna be like, from a listener's perspective, I take the conversations in real time. Like I've told you, like I talk back, you know? And so I wanted to text you like, hey, yo, you need to chill. But on a random Saturday, you'd be like, what the fuck you talking about? You know? But in my head, I'm like, I need to text T right now because he's on one for no good reason.
It
hit a nerve.
It did, but also in general, I truly worry about his safety.
Mm-hmm.
Again, just like I told you, just people do, and so when he's like, we just talking to strangers. I'm like, this violates everything I've ever been taught my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But in the world of RVing, every stranger is just a friend you ain't made yet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's what you have to do. It's what you do. Yeah. So
RVing is different too. I mean, not that I'm like fucking like proficient in RV lifestyle and culture, but it's like, you know, when we did our little trip where we went from California to the Grand Canyon to Sedona and then back, any of the RV places we stayed, it's like fucking tailgating, man. They're just like, oh shit, you in an RV? I'm in an RV. What's up? You know? Yeah. And you kind of just meet people. Like one lady, very similar to Gabe, she was just like, well, I already was working from home and then shit just got bad. So we sold our house and we pay for decent Wi-Fi mobile and we're just out here. She was like, you know, we don't got kids. Like our kids are grown. And she's like, I've been all over the United States. She's like, because I could still do my work like during the day. Yeah. And I was like, damn. So it's like people want to talk to you. They're like, because I remember we were out taking pictures and this random ass lady came up and I was like, oh, this white lady's about to say some shit right now, you know? And then she was just like, hey guys, you want me to take a picture? And we were like, what? And then I guess there's like a mountain range, I know I'm rambling, that if you ever go to Sedona, it looks like one part of the mountain looks like Lucy from Peanuts, which RIP to the voice of Charlie Brown, who just passed. And then another, I just read it the other day. And then the other side of the mountain looks like how Snoopy does when he's laying down on the top of his doghouse. Yeah. Like I got pictures of it. I'll send it to you guys. But it was a trip. And so she pointed that shit out. And I was like, are we friends? Like, is that what we're doing here? But that's RV life. I don't know. She could have been a swinger though too. So
Was there? Hold on. These are the various rumors I've heard about swingers. Did they have a pineapple or pineapple clothes on?
No, I didn't see pineapple, but she did pull out a titty.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm lying.
And then the other one, the world of this must mean they're swingers is if they have a giant star on the side of their shit. I'm like, y'all's wilding. Y'all just making up shit now.
According to TikTok, yeah, like all those things. It's like, what? I was like, what if you're in Hawaii? Everyone is a swinger in fucking Hawaii. They got pineapples everywhere. I don't know.
Maybe that's where it started, because it does seem like a less closed situation almost everywhere.
Yeah, that is true too. They're just like, you know what? Let me just pull this this crotch section to the side, and we just get it in real quick, right?
Okay.
I always love the mild disappointment in T's face.
My god!
Like somebody I follow was recently at a new beach in Florida, and of course they had put it like had tagged it on Instagram. So of course you look at the pictures that follow, and it's funny just seeing the dichotomy of different pictures. Like, well, we're just regular people taking pictures here, but oh no, here you can see my fanny because it's safe to see that on Instagram with the backside picture. So
see, I hear fanny and I get all English, and I was like, "It's a fanny, wow!" Which means Virginia. Which is the other flip.
Hey, this ain't British Bake Off. What are you talking about?
Like, it's just my own situation, man. I hear fanny and I'm thinking vag at this point because we don't throw fanny around for booty no more. Like,
I do. I guess I'll just say rump next time.
Rump is appropriate. Rump does the thing.
I don't like saying rump because rump is a particular category to me.
Yeah,
fair enough. Could you go? I mean, could you give me the various categories and the names that fit with them?
I mean, a rump is like, okay, I would like to say first of all, like butt categories are going to be out of the door because everybody who got the same BBL and all that kind of stuff, they all got the same all the same shaped butt. And then maybe 10 or 15 years from now, or maybe 20 years from now, when they all have flat butt daughters, it's gonna be a problem.
When flat butts are the trend again.
I mean, it's going to be the trend again where like all the men are lusting after the same women and the types of women. And then when they have babies, and then those babies come out, and those babies will have flat butts.
They're gonna be like, "Damn, she got that long back."
So a rump is okay. So let's start here. You could just say a pancake is a zero from a 0 to a 2.5. Let's just say pancake. So let's see here. Maybe a booty. No, a tush. Let's go to tush.
Okay, I like that.
A tush is maybe a 2.5 to a 5, maybe a 5.5, depending on the tush. Because you can just have a tush, but then you can have a nice tush. So a nice tush is 4.5 to 5.5.
Because I think there's got to be a little overlap between booty and tush. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
so yeah, keister. That's this. That keister is like a all in. That's anything can be a keister.
Are these gender specific or gender neutral? Because I tend to think keister is a male thing.
I can see why, because you're here like you're gonna get a kick in your keister and so forth and so on.
Keister can definitely be gender fluid.
You know? Yeah. So that's why I was like curious, like, you know, based on this categorization of booty specific terms. Just wanted to know where that felt.
And okay, so we left off at you wanted to interlock booty in between What did you say again?
Tush?
Tush.
Yes.
I can go with that. I can say that those can interlock.
Yeah.
A booty can be a nice tush, but it can go. So I would say let's go with booty is let's go from 5 to 7.5.
Okay.
Now rump is kind of goes with age and shape.
Okay.
Now, my father would call like a older lady. What? Oh, she got a nice rump. Oh yeah, like you know she's able to cook good and wear a house dress real nice.
Mhm. She's got the heavy elbows. You know what I mean? The
She
rumper.
might. She definitely might. So from rump to dunk.
Okay.
Now dunk is definitely from 8 to 10. Now it's definitely the cup spilleth over when you go into you in the dunk category.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I like these I like these descriptions. I like the breakdowns.
But
I feel like
then dunk is 10 to 10.5 when it's just over the scale. Okay, from 9 to 10.5
okay.
when you add the extra to it.
Possible
I respect it.
11s.
Possible.
Sometimes that happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Sometimes they turn it up to 11.
Yeah.
I agree.
And that was Anthony's scale of bums. Now you know. And knowing is half the battle. Yo, Joe.
Which also too, I'm just thinking right now. I think every time I'm on Skim, I think it pretty much starts off with talking about titties or ass. So people over here thinking I'm a nasty boy.
I mean, maybe you just bring out the nasty in us.
You're not a nasty boy.
A square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not a square. I mean,
speaking of nasty people, let's get to it. Former Ohio softball coach arrested on sex crimes charge involving students. Now,
terrible.
I am going to open this image in another tab so I can send you the link of this person. You hear that statement? What kind of picture? What are you thinking in your mind?
Ron Jeremy.
Ew.
I'm thinking a very churchy looking guy.
Fair enough. In your chat down there, you can click that link and you can see what that person looks like. And I'm going to read the story.
Whoa.
With a little bit of makeup, that could be a smoke show.
This is by Cliff Pinkert over at Cleveland.com. Hamilton, Ohio, a former softball coach at a high school in Southwest Ohio, is facing multiple criminal charges involving a student, including sexual battery, authorities say. Ashley Renee Risson, 30, of Hamilton, has been indicted by Butler County Grand Jury on 8 counts of sexual battery, a third-degree felony, according to the Butler County Sheriff's Office. She's also charged with tampering with evidence and furnishing alcohol to an underage person.
Oh. Every time I hear Ashley, I think of Scandalous from Recess. The Ashleys.
Yeah.
Oh.
I hear you. I do recall. I do remember the Ashleys.
I do too. Yeah. So yes, I do remember the Ashleys from Recess, which also Recess is very, of all of the shows that are about elementary schools and how they function, Recess is the most accurate.
Yeah.
The most accurate. Kindergarten is a fucking wild planet. Like they are some savage ass kids, and the things they do, adults would go to jail. Like they're wilding. And then just the political drama that takes place on the playground, like that show is accurate. You got a king of the playground, you got the sort of like minions along the way, you got these different factions, you got the weirdos that are always like digging holes. That show is factual. For sure. Just letting you know. I'll run a school. That show is true.
Fair enough. Let me pick this up where we left off.
Oh yeah, my bad. We're talking about molesters.
Her name was Ashley.
Yeah.
The victim is a 17-year-old junior softball player at New Miami High School, where Rison was a head coach and teacher's aide. The sheriff's department says there are no other known victims. New Miami local school superintendent Rhonda Parker tells WXIX Channel 19 that Rison resigned from her school job in May. She's accused of having illegal sexual contact with the student 8 times in April 2021. She also is accused of supplying the student with alcohol in March of 2021 and tampering with evidence in May of 2021 to impede an investigation. We trust the teachers to protect our children, not violate them, Sheriff Richard Jones said in a statement. Rison currently is being held in the Butler County Jail, according to jail records. Now, sure, that's awful. Everything about that is terrible, and I'm glad this person has been charged and arrested. It looks like if you look at that picture, she has a cold sore, so nothing about this is good to me.
Oh.
No. She got the herpes, for sure.
Faux show. But what I want to tell you, why I kind of was the one on the story is, y'all remember a time when white folk would clown black people's names because they was wildly spelled or so forth and so on.
Uh-huh.
How do you think Miss Ashley spells her middle name, which I know to be Renee?
Ooh, shit.
Does she smell like a French person?
No, because then that would just be spelled like Renee, which is a French word. It's a French name.
Again,
Okay.
I'm going to say...
I want you to understand that this is in Southwest Ohio, basically, which means the top of Kentucky. And that's no disrespect to my Kentuckians.
Well, here's what I was going to say. Tell me if I'm even close. Let's play this like Wordle. How many fucking greens and blacks and yellows did I get? Rehnay.
No.
Hold on.
Oh, no, you get your shot.
Any greens?
R apostrophe N-A-E.
No, but closer. It is RA-NAE.
Renee. Okay.
It is Renee.
Bruh.
Raw dick.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, she family love Raw the Rugged Man? Is that what's going on?
Oh my God! RA the Rugged Man. That's the guy. That's the guy performing in person. So that was what I took from his story more than this high school, this woman fucking around with.
Fuck all the drama. This bitch
Look how she spelled her name.
Like, super crazy.
Cause man, for years, all we did was catch fire for the way we spell our names and so forth and so on. That was always a jokey joke. It still is when they talk about football players. Yeah. But I'm like, come on, y'all doing this shit too.
No, like, and I could cite several students right now that are I've never seen so many various versions of Brooklyn. Ashley, like they're just, it's like people just gave up. They were just like, I don't even care. Like I've seen
the amount of Madisons in this world at this point. Is like, come on, bro, stop it.
Yeah, and then just the variations in spellings is just like, nah, that's not what that is. So, yeah, people need to stop tripping with these spellings.
This particular story has me angry to my soul.
Oh,
but I thought I'd read it. Again, this is from the good people at Cleveland.com. This is Adam Ferris. Man dies after Cleveland Housing Court bailiff shot him during eviction, sources say. Cleveland, Ohio, a man shot Thursday by a Cleveland Housing Court bailiff during an eviction has died, officials confirmed. Officials have not released the man's identity or the names of the bailiffs involved in the shooting. The shooting happened about 11:30 at the Madison Park apartment building on West 96 near Madison Avenue in the city's Cadell neighborhood. Cleveland police spokeswoman, Sergeant Jennifer Ciaccia, confirmed bailiffs shot the man. A statement released by the city said 2 bailiffs serving a court-ordered eviction knocked on the man's door and got no response. The bailiffs, along with a maintenance worker from the building, attempted to enter the man's apartment to evict him. The man burst through the door and hit the maintenance employee and one of the bailiffs with a blunt object believed to be a baseball bat. The statement said, mind you, people just broke into this man's house. And I don't care if they were evicting him. That don't mean he don't know that. People broke into his house. He defended himself. One of the bailiffs fired at least one bullet that hit the man in the head. So he went for a kill shot immediately.
Oh, shit.
An ambulance took the man to Metro Health where he died. Ciaccia said Cleveland police will investigate the shooting as they do all use of force in the city. Cleveland Housing Court spokesman Chris Ball told Cleveland.com /The Plain Dealer He was at the scene, but has not returned additional calls. A woman who lives inside the building, Lisa White Lavender, said she saw housing court bailiffs outside the apartment for about 2 hours before they went inside. She said it sounded like the bailiffs were trying to open the door with what sounded like a power drill. It sounded like they were trying to take down the door, White Lavender said. She said she did not hear gunfire, but saw medics bring out the man who with blood on his face. White Lavender said she did not know the man, but they had been living around there about 6 months after the landlord initially tried getting him to leave the building. The U.S. Supreme Court on August 26th ended the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's moratorium on evictions, but put in place to ward off a wave of evictions caused by the coronavirus pandemic. Madison apartment owners posted an eviction notice on the man's door less than a week later on September 1st. So as soon as they could, they tried to get this man out. According to housing court records, the building's owner, Amber Fair, filed for eviction in the housing court on September 8th. Owner said the man had failed to pay his $560 per month rent since April. Since the pandemic. What the fuck, bro? Mm-hmm. A magistrate initially approved a final move-out date of October 18th, but Judge Mona Scott pushed. Is that the lady who produces all the damn?
That's what I was supposed to say. Isn't that fucking all the like
Love and Hip Hop,
all the E-type Bravo shows or whatever?
Okay. Well, anyway, Judge Mona Scott pushed the date back because the owner had not yet shown the building had passed a lead inspection. Fair wrote in courts that the man refused to get inspectors into his apartment, let inspectors in his apartment on August 3rd and again August 31st during a welfare check by Cleveland police officers. The owner's attorneys asked for $5,000 in damages caused by the delay, but that was never ruled on. The building passed its lead inspection on November 23rd. Housing Court Magistrate David Roberts held a virtual hearing on the eviction on Monday. Roberts set the final move-out date for Thursday, and Scott signed off on it, according to court records. This system of landlords and so forth. And I know exactly where this building is at. Like I truly have been around this building because I used to be around that way. So I like the apartment. I made my son in. Well, technically I made my son in the hospital, but the apartment I lived in was like right around the way from his. So I know this area and I know it well. And the fact that already you have the ignobility of being kicked out of your home by eviction because this country don't want to do nothing about people being unable to pay their rent, and to have motherfuckers come in there and just shoot you dead. It's like, bro, really? That's what's out in the streets?
Yeah.
None of this. It's never necessary, but it's even less necessary in this case because this is. It's upsetting.
Well, because I think there's so many pieces to this as well, and like what it sounds like to me is they're already going to try to find the ways to sort of defame the victim. Oh, he didn't let us in. Don't fucking matter. Like, that's not relevant to him getting shot in the head.
Correct.
Like, he didn't let you through the door. Okay, that doesn't mean you get to come through. Like how you said earlier, someone broke into his house as far as he knows.
Correct.
So where's that dialogue of like, you break into my house, I'm gonna shoot you type of shit? It's like you can't just like barge through, and at that, are we not training any type of officers how to use a fucking gun? Like,
no, we are. We're training them to kill almost without compassion or whatever. It is immediately aim and dead motherfuckers. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not shoot to maim.
Yeah.
It is shoot to kill.
Yeah. We're not doing shoulder because I mean, like, we're not going for shoulders. We're not going for knees. We're not going for anything that's going to disable the person. We're just like, sorry, I'm a need to end your life over $5,000. That's not going in my pocket. Yeah. Like, the fuck is that? Like, that's bananas. Also, White Lavender is an ill last name. Like that's some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shit right there. I was like, damn, April O'Neil, White Lavender team up.
Oh my god, Lisa White Lavender.
Right? I was like, damn.
I'm gonna right click on this person's name and see if I can look them up and see if I can see if they have any social presence. Search Google.
Because Lisa White Lavender, that says she got OF.
Huh. another white lavender involved with in another shooting. This is a few years back in 2017. I want to click on that and see.
White Lavender is a hitman.
Right, for real. Maybe that. Hey, we just connect. Is it
Lisa White Lavender. I wanted my son to outlive me. Lisa White Lavender had a son die of gun violence.
Did this show just turn into a true crime podcast?
Oh
Yeah.
no.
And this is when they were living in Columbus, Ohio. Assuming this is the same person. I mean, how many Lisa White Lavenders can there be in the game?
Yeah.
So
She moved up here to get away from it, and just all around it.
Damn, she's a Black Widow. She brings death.
That's crazy. Well,
that's wild.
Rest in paradise to her son, and of course to the man whose name they have not released yet, because they know they're wrong.
Yeah.
And then that was all the stories I pulled for the week, and I'm sorry they were both kind of like downers, but like I said, it bothered me so much I had to discuss it, and I'm glad I got to talk to y'all about it. Kind of get it off my chest.
Yeah, people on some bullshit though.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like the argument can never be like we're not looking to not be arrested. Like that's just the bare minimum. Like you can arrest me, that's fine. I'll do something wrong. You can detain me. We're just looking not to die. That's it.
Now, can I toss in a California story that I'd like to have your guys' opinion on?
Sure thing.
Yes.
Okay, so just this past, I think it was like last Friday or Saturday, 2 high schools down like South Orange County area of California, basketball games taking place. The story that I've kind of collected is one of the players on the sort of rival team was just destroying the home team, right? And so one of the kids from the stand, African-American basketball player, okay? One of the kids from the stand starts yelling out, where's his slave master? Who set him free? Where's his chains? We need to chain him up. So now it's turned into, out here it's like a big like media storm right now. Like all the, like we got like news vans all over the place. It's all over Instagram, all over Facebook, stuff like that. Okay, here's now the flip. And maybe it is a flip, maybe it isn't a flip. What's recently come out, because when you hear the child's voice or, this teen's voice, you kind of assume right off the rip, oh, this kind of sounds like a white kid, Yeah. Black kid.
Okay.
So now the conversation has shifted down here of what should be, is this kid now like good with saying this, or what should be the repercussions in this? Because now it's like black versus black, not white versus black. I have my opinions on it, but I want to hear what you guys think in this scenario.
Well, I'm still fucked up to say that kind of shit to somebody. So I mean, that I think that just stands. It's like
that's a non-negotiable, straight up.
Yeah. So that is already a whole ball of whack. And I mean, like I said, if my man was offended, the player, and remains offended, then he is offended, and I can't whatever about it. It don't make that shit sweet. People are, like black folk, we do have a way of wilding sometimes, but I don't know, man. I don't get a lot of slave comedy going at me. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta be like, yeah, you black, but is you black? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Is he a young Clayton Bigsby?
You know what I'm saying? Is it young Candace Owens?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's kind of like, okay, so where this takes place is also very like a
I said Bigsby, and then my phone went off.
The Samsung assistant, Bixby.
Yeah.
And this also took place in a very conservative area of Orange County as well. So it kind of plays that. So as we were kind of having conversations in our own school district, discussing what had taken place, the dialogue kind of shifted from like, oh, he learned it in the household. This is how horrible it is for someone to communicate like this. But then when we found out, they were similar, then it was like, I took it as I actually shifted more towards like feeling like sad or upset still with the kid who said the negative terms, because it's like, are you just showing out for your friends? Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
like what are you doing, man? Like, are you not tapped in with your culture, your community? Like, did you say this for them? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Most
I'll try to
likely that's
find the
the
videos,
case.
and I'll send it over to you guys, because the way it's like said too, it's not like he's not trying to crack jokes. It doesn't sound like it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I mean, amongst like growing up amongst like other Mexican friends, yeah, I've heard my fair share of like beaner jokes and wetback jokes amongst other Mexicans. You know what I mean? But it's the delivery of like, oh, we're just cracking on each other, we're just talking shit, versus like someone coming at me like real hard, and that's what it sounded like in this. But I was just like, I'm just like, man, you poor kid, like,
Yeah.
who are you doing this
Because he
for?
might have been like, well, let me put on for these people so they know that I'm different. I'm not like other. Because you'll hear a lot. I'm not like other black people. You know what I'm saying, it's like bruh.
Yeah.
Trust me, they can still accuse you of shoplifting just because because your color. It just it just is what it is. Again, I don't know those whole stories. Like I said, still seem whack to me.
Yes.
So
1000%.
yeah,
It
yeah.
it
So,
remind me of when you see those racist promposals.
yeah.
Yes.
And it's just like, what were you aiming at? Like, it's not funny no matter who says it. And man, I do feel like it's worse that another black person said it to him, like, um yeah, it was something he was saying to impress or shock and awe to other people. Either way, that shit was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. But we roll, man. First up, as always, is my man Tatum. Man, what's popping with you this week?
Man, not a whole lot. Trying to keep the driveway clear of snow. Don't want the kids to slip. Because as soon as my youngest son is about to get on the bus or get off the bus, he want to run, and I don't want him to fall. But I was talking to my mother on the phone the other day, and she was telling me that she had talked to my babysitter from when I was in like pre-K and kindergarten and first grade, and we were just reminiscing, and she had mentioned that one of my brother's friends' mother had a child very young.
Mhm.
And then I was thinking, I'm like, I was just reading not too long ago about how, like, the youngest mother, how old do you think the youngest mother ever recorded is?
Wasn't she like 8 or 9?
8. Yeah, I felt like it was like something real stupid young. What was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very stupid young. 5.
Fucking
How,
5? Wow.
5 years old.
how would you even have a child carry? How would you have a 5-year-old carry a child to term?
Yeah.
Well, most okay. Like you guys said, most cases do start happening around 8.
Mm-hmm.
And most cases have the similar thing where it's like they took them to the doctor because they were complaining about abdominal pain, and they end up pregnant or like about to have the child right then and there.
Wow.
So the youngest was 5, and I was like, man, it just made me like, I know that's a bummer to start off with, but like a small list of people, the youngest and oldest at doing things.
Okay.
So how old do you think the oldest person to give birth was?
Oldest person to give birth?
I'm gonna go with 63.
See, I was gonna go a lot higher and say maybe like uh I'm thinking like 84.
Well, it was 74.
Mm.
And it seems like to me it was a lot of people in India. It was like Peru, India. Man, they be still getting it in out there.
It's all them
And
spices.
Yeah, it gotta be the turmeric, right?
Right.
They still drink the turmeric tea, and they still, still going at it.
It's that
It was
plant-based diet.
it gotta be that it's because like I'm going through the list because originally I think Google said it was like 63. And then, like a couple things down, it was like in 2019, it was 72. And then in 2020, it was 74.
Mhm.
So that list keeps on going up and up, which was it was really interesting. Like, and I mean, of course, I don't think we're gonna get any feedback about this, but the number is always different. But the highest I seen was 74.
Okay, you want to trip on this real quick? The 74-year-old woman, because I just looked it up,
Mm-hmm.
at 74 gave birth
The
to
triplet?
her first children ever,
Yes.
and they were twins. So it was the first time she was pregnant or like gave birth, and
Mm-hmm.
she gave birth to twins.
I knew it was
Crazy
multiples.
she lived after that.
I mean, that was this last year, so she's still living.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Okay, well that's wild.
Yeah.
Man, she lived long.
She was in vitro. Not that makes a difference, but
Yeah, but you know what's very interesting about in vitro? Like, I know like celebrities won't admit it, but like, so Mariah Carey, twins. Beyonce, twins. Jennifer Lopez, twins.
Jennifer Lopez has twins?
Yeah,
Yes.
Max and Emmy.
From Dragon Tales?
Yes, pretty much. And that's why I remember their names. So it seemed like a lot of celebrities when they have twins, it's because I mean, of course they went through my thinking. I think they went through in vitro, and like a lot of the older people on this list, they had twins and triplets. So maybe they were going through the same thing, going through in vitro as well. Okay, so what was the youngest couple to have kids? What was the age you think?
Youngest couple. I'm going with 11.
I don't like calling these people a couple.
Okay, the youngest parents.
Great to me.
They were the youngest.
Yeah, I hear you, but
okay, this is terrible. But at least these people were around the same age. A lot like with the first person I named, her father was arrested. Was arrested for it, but they couldn't find proof.
Uh-huh.
And then like a lot of these other people, like
they couldn't find proof. It's a whole ass baby.
Yeah.
Is that not proof enough?
I mean, it was 1933, so it like.
And they were like, I looked that one up too. They were way like far off in Peru.
Gross.
Okay, so
we'll go with 10. I'll Price is Right rule, my man.
Damn,
Okay.
that sounds like wow. It used to be like $1 less or more. All right.
Okay, so the mother was 8 and the dad was 9.
Damn.
Pretty bad. I'm sorry, this isn't as happy as it should be. All right, let's move on. So
no, well, hold on, time out. I want to address the statement just made right now. This should not be happy. As happy as it should be. No.
at least they got to grow up together. So, what was the youngest person to graduate from high school?
Youngest to graduate from high school.
Doogie Howser. I'm gonna go 6.
That was my first number, so now I'm gonna go 5.
All right, you guys would have got it both on the nose. 6 years old.
Okay.
So, what do you think was the oldest to graduate from high school?
The oldest, probably like 97.
Yeah, that feel about right. So just some old dude who just was like, I went to go fight the war, so I never got to graduate.
Hey, that's funny because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, he probably like went to war, then became like a custodian, and then was like finally like, you know what? I'll work in a high school, so I might as well just get that old little certificate for myself.
Very good. 87 is what I'm gonna throw out there.
Okay.
All right, so the oldest to graduate properly was 94, and the oldest to get an honorary high school diploma was 111.
Damn.
And what was that person's story? If you have it.
The person that was 111 was pretty much almost what you guys said, except it was her husband that went to war.
Okay.
And so, she graduated. She stopped school waiting for him.
Mhm.
Don't ever do that, ladies. Just finish school.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of war, what was the youngest person to ever go to war, to actually fight in war?
Oh shit! There were some really young people.
I remember this. Well, I mean, I don't know if how far back they reached, but I remember reading a story of a Confederate soldier who was like maybe like 9, like an actual he was uniformed up and with the piece on him. So kind of that verb, if I recall correctly. But mind you, I ain't heard that story since I lived down south, so I can't really speak to it.
Well, this one was during modern days. Not that's not modern, but during World War One. He was 8 years old,
Jesus Christ! What
and
did he
the
fight
rest
for?
of
Prussians or something?
it was
He fought for bread. That's what he fought for.
I don't I don't have it. Hold on, let me. I'll go back. But
Well,
the
because I was gonna
story
say, I thought I
was
heard about I thought I remember learning about kids battalions because they're sneaky motherfuckers. It's easy to use them to kind of spy up and shit like that.
you always hear no disrespect, but like in the Vietnam War, which the documentary that used to be on Netflix. What's the guy that does all the good documentaries?
Ken Burns?
Yeah, Ken Burns. You got it right on the nose. Like when they started the Vietnam War and they were out in the sticks, they prepared 4 months. Not 4 months, for a very long
For
period of
multiple
time.
months.
Yeah, to get ready, bringing stuff in and having all these different places to hide because they knew it was coming. So I don't doubt that it was people or younger than this person who was 8 years old.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
Child rebel soldiers, man.
this young man was Siberian. He was the youngest Siberian soldier. He was 8 years old, and the rest of his family was killed. And a older soldier brought him in, and dude never went home after that.
Wow.
He was like you said, he was out there with a piece. He even got injured during war. He was hurt as well, and they were like, "Do y'all got a little boy with y'all?" And it was like, "Yeah, he already hurt, so he might as well just keep going." He already invested, man.
Bro, he deadly with that fucking steel. Watch for that little.
he had to be, man. Anger will take you a long way.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all I got. I didn't want to go too far into it, but yeah, some of that shit was really sad.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's the world.
It's the world we live in, man. Well, I pass the mic over to you, Charlie, bro. What you got this week?
What do I got going on? What's been going on this week? Well, we just recorded a new episode of Cadillac on Mars. Had T sitting shotgun in the whip. We also had a man of mystery.
I would like to be like I would like to think that I'll be shitting shotgun just as I'm taller than all y'all motherfuckers. So if I can't drive that motherfucker, I can at least sit shotgun.
Yeah, no, you are definitely shotgun. Delvin's always talking about being in a second Cadillac for some reason, but he sits in the back. Actually, you know what, Delvin? If you listen to this episode, you sitting on the hump. You sitting bitch. Just letting you know. This is an old Cadillac, still got the hump. It's not a new one. But yeah, the man of mystery, we always talk about him. My homie Sean finally showed up. So it was just nice to have him on as well. But yeah, just out here doing Cali shit, the weather's been good lately, hasn't been raining. just really getting excited for next week because my daughter is going to have her 10th birthday.
Yeah.
And she's super hyped about it. We're gonna do a little backyard thing for her and her girlfriends, and do some crafts. They're gonna decorate some picture frames, and then we're gonna
Okay.
do like a photo backdrop for them, take some pictures. She specifically requested stuffed crust pizza.
Oh,
So
man.
I'm gonna come through with that. She says stuffed crust pizza and blue Gatorade. I said, you know what? I respect
Which it's a couple of blues. Which particular shade of blue she fuck with?
She likes the very light blue one.
Damn shame.
Hey, you know what? Hey, you know what? You gotta show her love because she kept it crippy. So
For sure.
I used to love Riptide Rush. I know that
Yeah,
was
the-
between
the
a purplish and a purple bluish gray color.
Yeah.
yeah,
But Riptide
I'm a
Rush used to be
OG.
great.
I'm an OG. I just love that straight up like original.
You drinking
lime.
lemon lime Gatorade?
Red, orange, or
Yeah,
green.
man. Yeah,
Oh.
man. That one was good. Warm.
Lemon lime tastes like paste to me, but I mean, if you like
know
it,
what
I
it
love
is?
it.
Hey, I might just be genetically predisposed because that shit also tastes like introductory margarita. So,
Oh, I wonder how good that would be in a margarita machine or those cups that make the perfect slushy.
yeah.
I bet you the salt might, because it's a lot of salt. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
wonder if the salt would prevent it from getting a proper slush,
That would be dope.
or
if
would
you
the
could-
salt make the slush pop off? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
That would be dope if you could do it both ways. Like take the Gatorade, dry it out, make Gatorade salt for the rim because it's already salty, and then put in the glass just slushy Gatorade.
Or cut out the middleman because you don't need to dry it out because you could just buy the Gatorade powder.
Oh yeah.
Dang.
true.
Damn. You know what? Hey, nobody listened to this episode because we about to make some money.
And or somebody gonna get a little drunk.
Either way. Drunk, but also replenished.
All the electrolytes. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
exactly.
The plants crave.
So they're gonna be stuck in a fucking loop, just drinking, hyped up, drinking, doing laps.
Are you making the pizza, or you got a special spot to order it from?
Okay, this is where you guys gonna judge.
Nope, no
Because-
judgment.
Surely.
She wants it from Papa John's.
Oh man, Papa John's is not my bag mostly because it gives me heartburn. The tomato sauce. But
I hate that crust. Feels weird on my tongue.
I remember.
I think it's the racism that's in there, but
That's what I was saying. I was about to say. I think it's because it's the bootcut jeans.
Oh, I don't like. One of my friends used to work at Papa John's,
Mhm.
and I didn't like the pizza, but they were one of the first restaurants that I can remember that had like real good cheesy bread. And I used to trade my friend. He used to come up to Wendy's, where I worked at the time, and whatever he wanted, I had it to him. And then whenever he worked at Papa John's, I'd give me one of those pizzas.
Man, so I got a story similar to that too. But first, I wanted to say, if they changed Papa John's to Papa JAWNS, then I might be more down.
Oh,
okay.
Papa John's, son. Philly. We in the building.
Yeah, Philly John.
But yeah, when I used to work at a Mrs. Fields in the mall.
Oh,
And,
nice.
Yeah, and that shit was the come up because let me tell you, at the end of the day, all the cookies, they would just trash them or you take them fuck home. And so we were kind of side off of the food court in the mall, and that shit turned into like, hey man, what you got? Like, listen, give me some of those white chocolate chips. I got you with the Aunt Annie's cinnamon pretzel. Okay, cool. Oh, you guys over there, what you got? Oh, you still got some carne asada left from your tacos earlier? All right, let's talk. So it really turned into like we all in the evening ate good because it was like we just started throwing shit together, So I'd come home and I never had to have dinner because I was like, man, I had a quesadilla, I had a taco, I had a pretzel, I had a fucking slushy, I had an orange Julius. Hey, we were flipping all these things. Everyone ate.
Yeah.
So it was a win.
I just saw a TikTok about Mrs. Fields, and they was like, "Let me tell
I
you something
seen
about
that
Mrs.
too.
Fields.
Oh yeah,
Mrs.
yeah.
Fields
I saw.
was not only a brilliant businesswoman, but hot as hell." And I was like,
Yeah.
Mrs. Fields was an because she still lives an attractive lady.
Hey, and
So props.
she's involved because that
Yeah,
shit blew my mind too. Like I thought Mrs. Fields was like Aunt Jemima.
like Aunt
Like she
Jemima.
didn't exist. I was
God,
just like, no, it's not a person. It's fictitious. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And then when someone handed me the binder and then there was a picture of her, I was like, and this is like pre-coined phrase MILF era, you know? So I was like, yeah,
She was a smoke
look at
show.
her. Yeah, I was like, oh, because I expected like a fake picture of like a white granny or something like that, you
Mhm.
know? And then when I saw what she looked like with those blonde flowing locks, I was like, whoa, easy. So that shit blew my mind. So when I saw that TikTok pop up, I was like, man, I've been knowing.
Yeah.
Like y'all not hip.
No.
Yeah, Miss Fields, Debbie Fields,
Uh-huh.
even now, not bad at all.
How old is she now?
I don't know if they have her age listed. This article is from. They don't got a date on the article. Can't call it. She opened up the first one in
She's 65.
1977.
She can still
She was
give
20.
birth.
She's still popping up them birth cookies.
But yeah, Debbie Fields,
Mhm.
girl, you can bake me anything.
Oh man, she is still foxy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Hey, but you know what
right
though?
on.
I mean, the cookies are delicious, but you can never, they say you can never trust a skinny chef. So there might be something up.
She's got good sense. I can't knock her for that. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
By the look of
bro.
her nose, she probably was probably staying slim with that Coke. She got a Coke thing.
Her husband was a financier kind of dude, you know what I'm saying? And I guess, y'all saw the TikTok. Y'all know how the story goes, so it's whatever.
Yeah.
But I guess for you, listener, her husband, they went out for dinner with one of his business associates, and he was talking wild reckless to her about her not being able to get out there and hustle. And she was denied many a loan before she was finally approved. And when she was approved, she handled her business, got out there and hustled them cookies, paid back that loan, and the Mrs. Fields game is real now. It's out here.
Still delicious.
Put some respect on her name. I wish she had a Miss Fields. I don't think there's no Miss Fields around these parts no more.
Probably not.
So. But we do got that. What's that? Crumble?
We got Crumble, which they got some pretty good looking cookies this week.
This week's fair.
I wanted to try that raspberry. It was a raspberry lemonade one I wanted to try. And
the pineapple one that they had some the basically the Dole Whip jar.
Mm-hmm.
It was too much, much too much. So I could not fuck with it. So if you Charles, man, if you ain't hip to Crumble, it's an app-based cookie service. So you might be able to get down with them.
Yeah, I was gonna say we actually have a Crumble just like a block away from my job. So they brought them in this week. Though we're looking at cinnamon fry bread, raspberry lemonade, oatmeal Rolo, chocolate cake, the classic pink sugar, and the milk chocolate chip.
Yeah, that raspberry was looking lemonade was looking pretty good. The cinnamon fry bread, I don't know. I know fry bread is not something I should be eating for respect. So
yeah. I did feel that one. I was like, could you just call it something else? Because I feel like fried bread was it's an oppressive meal. Like maybe we don't have that, you know?
It'd be like the Chitlins cookie. It's not something everybody. It's not something people want a piece of. I was about to ask you, man. What is a California winter?
What is a California winter?
Yeah, what's going on? Between December 21st and March 21st, weather-wise and so forth and so on. Because right now,
let me tell you,
the lake I live on is on the verge of freezing over.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning the one of the Great Lakes, mind you. So it's not like some old little shit. But Lake Erie is almost finished getting its top coat of ice.
Yeah.
So you can almost go walk out there on that shit. So it's real cold here right now.
Yeah, no, it's kind of insane out here right now too. Like we've been just really struggling with the weather because it's like like I have to wear like a thin sweater all day long. If not, I chill to the bone. I'm just fucking around. No, it really ain't shit out here. It's like a California winter, honestly, is like 68 degrees.
Sounds pretty perfect.
Yeah, I mean it gets a little overcast, but it's nice, bright. I actually my favorite time of the year is like is like right now is like January, like to pre-spring, um, because it's still, I guess if anything, it's very crisp,
Right.
and so because once you hit into the spring and the summer, that's when you start to like feel and smell a lot of like the smog and shit like that, like all the shit in the air, because you got way more people out in public. Whereas right now, like I'll say this, like just straight up and down, like if you are a native Californian, like we are a bunch of little punks, because the minute it drops under 70, I'm talking like the big bubble coats, Scullies, fucking scarves, all the Ugg boots come out. I'm talking, you would think people were in like knee deep in snow. Like we don't do it, but it's also because we just primarily live in like shorts. Like shorts are a real deal out here. And so it's like whether you're in the hood, you're on the beach, shorts, man. So it's like California winter, if you don't like being super cold, that's the place to be. If you like every day, like, okay, so Mike from the What Up Doe podcast, he came out here over the weekend. And so he was saying, man, it's kind of unfair because he's talking about from in Detroit right now. He's like, everything's fucking frozen, just snow everywhere. He's like, this shit sucks. He's all, then come out here and it's like, he said something that kind of blew my mind. He's like, I can see why everyone fucking wears sunglasses all the time. He's like, California is bright.
Yeah.
Like, you guys have a lot of sun. He's like, we don't live like this out here. And I was like, that's kind of crazy. So it's just like little things like that. But I know we're kind of privileged out here with that good weather. But yeah, California winter, it's like night times maybe hit 55, so it doesn't get too bad. But we do get a nice range too, because like, so the mountains that aren't that far from here, maybe like, so to describe California too, California is very compact, in particular Southern California. So you think you got the beach, and then going in to get to the beach to like the mountains is maybe an hour and a half, 2 hour drive. Like, it's not far. So that's where you hear things like people, when you get to a certain sweet spot in the year, people will like go surfing in the morning and then like snowboarding in the afternoon, because you can do both. And so it's not one of those things where you're like, oh, fuck, we want to go to the snow, so we got to make a whole big ass trip to, it's a 6 hour drive and shit like that. No, everything's right here, But and then there's the in between, which is kind of like the flatlands. But yeah, California is an interesting place. Everybody should come and visit. What I also learned too is like people talk shit about like how expensive California is. Having been around the United States a little more, everything's expensive. What the fuck are you talking about? Gas is expensive everywhere. When I look at the price, so when I went to Atlanta and when I went to Chicago and looked at how much a home cost in square footage, I was like, that's just the same. Like, what are you talking about? I think it's just people, like, I do recognize that we do have some pricey stuff, but it's just expensive to live in the United States.
Correct.
Period.
Yeah. Now,
So that
when I was in Cali, what I noticed besides that brightness is, and of course, I guess it makes sense. Cali sit wild low.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like you feel further away from the sun than you are. It's just like I'm like, what is going on there? Like it's just the elevation is it's low. You know what I'm saying? Like Death Valley, like one of the lowest spots in the planet is there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Cali just sit real flat against the damn crust of the earth. You're like, damn, man. Sun looking weird.
Hey, that's why we laid back, man. Show to get low. So I do recognize it is a different feel up here, and I do agree with what you're saying. Like the way things kind of settle. Yeah. Going to Atlanta, I did feel like everything was closer.
Yeah. A little slight elevation change and so forth. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I dig
Yeah.
it. Also, I feel like that whole Cali's so expensive thing basically comes from the Silicon Valley. San Francisco, that whole region up there, you know what I'm saying, Northern California, it is wildly expensive because of just the way people pay for shit up there. So I feel like I feel like they paying out the ass up there.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will say, "Oh, I moved to LA." They left San Francisco where they was living in somebody's closet down to LA where they at least got at least a studio. You know what I'm saying, that they can move into for a similar price. Yeah, SF is just too small and too many wealthy people fucking up the curve.
Yeah. You fuck up the market. And but what I do see out here, in terms of like regional stuff as well, is I'm starting to see a slow in I guess we would consider like typical gentrification.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're seeing more of that internal rebirth. You know what I mean? Like, so I'll give you an example. Just outside of Long Beach, not very far, two cities, one's Paramount, one's Bellflower. And a lot of the Latino culture is really buying back in, So we're seeing like, instead of a bunch of Starbucks, like one of my favorite places to go to is a place called the Horchateria. And it's a Latin-owned, Latin-styled coffee shop, And so it's a lot of the flavors I grew up with. And some of the restaurants that are popping up too aren't just like chain places. They're like, Latin owned, Latin run. And so we're starting to see those sort of like Renaissance areas, even here in some of the, in the African American predominant communities as well, like you're starting to see the modern foods come in, the sort of like the traditional plus modern coming together, fusion. And so it's just like that. I think right now that's kind of a nice, like, beautiful thing. Very similar to like in the sense of like a fucking Insecure, coming into these final seasons where she was just like really having the art walks, having, highlighting the culture. You're starting to see more of these festivals. You're starting to see more of those, things that just highlight the culture of the local neighborhood. Because California is extremely diverse in a lot of different ways, not just black, brown, white. Large Armenian communities, large Persian communities, large Korean. Like Long Beach has the largest like Cambodian community outside of Cambodia, So it's we got a lot of that stuff going on, and so I always think it's a beautiful thing when communities get the opportunity to sort of to just show what they're about, and at the same time welcome it, like come try our food, come check out our music, our culture, things like that. Like that's just amazing. So we're seeing a lot more of that and a lot less corporate shit,
Good. I like that a whole lot.
So two things. One, we're supposed to be getting we're getting the Intel plant in Columbus, Ohio. So hopefully some of that Intel money will rub up to Cleveland. And I had a quick question about you and your wife. So I listened to one of your last episodes of Cadillacs on Mars, and you were saying that your wife is Puerto Rican.
Yes.
So where where does you guys food like intertwine, and when is it separate, you feel?
Okay, that's a really good question, because we also don't fit the norms, right? So I'll go on my end. I am more Californio than I am Mexican. And what I mean by that is my mom's side of the family has always and forever been in California. So we even have documentation identifying our Chumash tribe as well. So we've been here. So if anyone says to me, go back to where you came from, I'll be like,
around here, the corner.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, what you mean?
That is here, sir.
That is right on this block. But so with that, like, though, and then just over the years, my mom primarily identifies as Mexican. That it's more for our heritage, and background. A lot of the cooking was not like traditional Mexican. It was a very, like, if you think of like Tex-Mex or like Southwest, right? Like that's a version of Mexican food. That's how my mom's cooking was as well. So I never had like a lot of, like, her enchiladas were like crazy weird,
Okay.
And then my dad is from Mexico though. And so but my grandparents were never close by, so his was like a version. And he worked at a restaurant when he first moved, or when he was like first working, and so like a high end restaurant. So the cooking in the house was like also real weird, because then my dad would be like, "Look, I made meringues," and I was like, "What the fuck?" You know, or like do like French style like basting of like foods and whatever. So it was like I grew up real weird, you know. Now on my wife's end, and also just being, I guess, what you consider just very Americanized, you know. Um, on my wife's end, her mom's Puerto Rican, but more New Yorkican. Like her family
Okay.
comes from New York. And then I guess her mom was born in Brooklyn, or no, the Bronx maybe. And then, but when she was like 2 years old, they moved out to California.
Okay.
So her mom would cook like Puerto Rican dishes, but it was always a weird like hybrid of like, because of the California experience. So it'd be like she would do the plátanos, she would do the arroz con gandules type of stuff, but then it would be like with tacos, you know. So it's always that like that American or the California influence coming back in. So now with our own home and our own family, like we eat a very like, I guess in a sense, like modern American diet, you know. Like for example, tomorrow we're gonna have spaghetti squash with probably some sweet turkey sausage or something. But we're thinking if we don't get the turkey sausage, we'll do with some like seasoned up like chicken breast, you know.
Okay.
So not a lot of the traditional stuff, but we are trying to reach back and relearn these things, because we're also realizing that we're not giving, like, my kids love culture. Like my kids are very like socio-politically like savvy too. Like they eat that shit up. So we recognize we're doing our kids a disservice. So we're now trying to learn like some of the traditional dishes and stuff like that.
Nice.
But funny story though, the first time my kids spent the night at my parents' house, I told my mom, I was like, listen, I was like, whatever you do, like these kids don't eat like how I grew up. Because my mom used to make me like in the morning when she sent me to school, I had like 2 little mini like breakfast burritos, you know. I was good. Like that's how we went out. So I was like, the kids don't eat like me. I was like, my kids eat like white kids. I was like, so like they go to Sprouts and Whole Foods type of shit. So they're not like, they don't. So pick them up a couple days, and my kids just look greasy. Like they got a shine on them. I'm like, oh. So we get there. Like I remember my daughter being like, "We gotta go home. Like we gotta go home right now." And I was like, "It's like an hour drive." She's like, "We gotta go." So then I was like, "All right, thanks. You know, whatever we dropped." We must have stopped on the way home from my parents live about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from me. So we must have stopped like maybe a smooth 4 times on the way, because these kids had the shits. Wow. And it was like, what did you guys eat at grandma's house? Like, what did grandma serve you? And they were like, well, she made homemade pancakes. And I was like, okay, you know, they weren't used to like, they're used to the little frozen minis. You know, that's what they do out here. They're like, grandma made pancakes, and then it had like whole milk. It's like, oh fuck! Wow. I was like, not the almond milk, damn. And then
with
like,
that red cap,
right? And then this is the kicker though. My daughter goes, yeah, grandma made like the beans like in the restaurant, but she took them out of like a clay pot. So my mom keeps like the whole beans, very Mexican style, slow cooks them in a clay pot, and then scoops out of the pot into the pan to make some refried beans. And they were like, so grandma took them out of the pot, and then she got this like box of cream, and then scooped the cream and put the cream in the beans and then cooked it. And I go,
so it was lard?
Yes.
Manteca.
Yeah. So, but they were like, I go, cream? What the fuck? Like, what do you mean cream? And they were like, you know, it's like a red box, had a little piggy on it. And I was like, lard? They're like, yeah. These fools ain't never had lard before. Man, she gave them hot Cheetos. They were like, yeah, she made these potatoes covered in like a fucking tomato sauce with like cheese. They ate. I mean, for me, I would have been like, I'll eat all that shit up. That's delicious. For these guys, no. For like 2 days, they were shitting.
They were like, it was just too rich for them.
Yeah, it was too much. They were like, Grandma, we can't eat like that no more. They were done. But it was just a version of like the meat sweats, but not meat. These kids were a wreck.
Oh wow.
So that's just the long version of answering your question. Yeah, no, our foods don't intersect.
Okay. And that's funny. Like when my kids go to my mom's house, it's the same thing. No, my mother doesn't like cook with lard and stuff, but like she's feeding them all day long. Like they ate apples. They ate I remember one time they came home. I was like, we like bologna. I'm like, what? Y'all like what? Yeah, we like bologna now. Could we have some bologna? I was like, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I never bought it before, but we can start getting it.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true. That they learn some things when they go over there, and so which like bugs my wife out a ton because she's very much like, they eat this for breakfast, then they'll have a fruit in the middle, then they'll have lunch, then there's a snack later in the day, and the snack needs to consist of these items, and then there's dinner, and they've only stayed at my parents like a handful of times, and they're always just like, and she's like, I don't even want to know what they ate, and I'm like, yeah, you probably really don't want to know what they ate, and these kids will come back to me and they're like, did you know McDonald's serves breakfast? And I'm like, fuck, don't tell your mom, like, stop it, like. So they talk, Grandma gave us a venti frap. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Oh
wow. Your wife is wild health conscious, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, very much so. She's out here
running like
muscles.
5Ks and marathons and shit, right?
Man, 5K is light work, man. Let me tell you,
that's what I'm saying.
She's training
out there
right now. She's training right now for a marathon. Last weekend, just for practice, ran 19 miles. I was like, I'm good. I'll do all that running in Far Cry right now. Thank
you.
Yeah. Nah. I mean, I used to be the runner back in the day, and she even said to me like a while back when she started getting very like health conscious and getting into running, because she was just be like, "What the fuck you run for? That's just dumb." And then just over time, just like didn't get it, like kind of lost the fun of it. And so then when she got into it, she was like, "I get it now." She's like, "Because you run and you're socializing and you're seeing the city and you have all these experiences." I was like, "Yeah, fucking running can be a lot of fun." Until it's not, because she did fall out of love with running for a while, and she was like, running's kind of whack. But then that's when she really focused on like bodybuilding. Like she wanted to like build up muscles and shit like that. So she got guns on her, man. She'll flex.
Respect on it.
Mm-hmm.
Dig it, y'all. I got anything I can talk about? It's cold here. Been working on show shit. Just behind the scenes stuff, just trying to work on some stuff. It has been bothering me for a long time that people are on TikTok reading them other assholes. Something we've been doing on this show for a minute and getting wild powers off of it. So I was like, Ness, you think you can edit us together and them other asshole for TikTok? And she's like, I think I can do it. And so she took what was basically like a 15-minute of an asshole and hacked that shit down to 3 minutes because it's max you can get on TikTok.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna see. I mean, we're gonna see. We're gonna see what we can do with that.
What is her? I've heard you mention like in the past, or like over episodes and in between us, that she does a lot of editing. Is that like her thing? Like she's super hyped about editing, or what?
So Vanessa went to film school. That's what she went to school for.
Oh shit!
And had dreams of becoming a filmmaker. And I'm not going to take those dreams from her. I'm not saying she still doesn't have them. I'm saying that was the goal, And just the way stuff worked out, it just didn't work out for her. She still has a few buddies that are still out there, hustling and stuff. Like one friend he's in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. His where his schooling went to, he does like local news. Okay. That's what ended up being for him. But her ex-boyfriend is out in Cali now, and he is finally officially a best boy. So he does electrician's work on set and stuff like that there. Uh-huh. And her friend Sean, he does like some grip shit as well. You know what I'm saying? So some of these people have managed to get out there, but a lot of people just never. It's just it didn't work out for them, to get out there and do stuff. But she'll film shit and edit stuff. She does the short film. There's an Instagram film festival she's done like 3 or 4 entries into.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I do remember you sharing that. Or I think she might have shared
it. Probably both. Yeah. So I can edit audio with the best of them. I'm actually I find myself to be very good. My workflow might not be as good as the next man's, but I make some pretty cool sounding shit.
Yeah.
Whereas she is who I go to for video shit
Mhm.
because she can get in the Premiere and just knock shit out and
Yeah.
make it work and so forth and so on. So like our Chicago vlog, you know what I'm saying? She did that for
Mhm.
me, you know what I'm saying? And so forth. And we just try to work as a unit, as a team, man. And that's how we keep the skin brand moving.
Yeah.
And
But
so
I
when
think
I say,
that's a beautiful thing when you can kind
yeah,
of team up on it.
yeah. So when I present a dumbass idea like, hey, let's see if we can make this shit work as a TikTok, then she worked on it for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Finished it right before I jumped on this mic tonight.
Mhm.
and it is sitting in the folder that I need to go futz around with. And she's like, "Well, you edit it when you export it into TikTok, you can just edit it in there." And I'm like, "Okay, I will see what I can do." And so we'll see what it looks like and how the quality works on TikTok. Because TikTok's weird, and I need to mess around in there a little more. But
Mhm.
that is the intent and goal there. I'm saying, I'm trying to see what's been popping this week that I can share with the world. I don't know, man. Oh, you know what I can say, and this is a bit of sad news, but I just found out, was it today or yesterday? Let me double check my mama's text message. That was indeed today. My uncle Mack passed away. He was my aunt Dot's husband. Yeah. And my aunt Dot, as listeners know, passed away back in 2020 because that's when me and Box drove down to Tennessee for her funeral. So her husband passed away. I want to say it was cancer, but don't quote me on that. And if I got it wrong, forgive me. But my Uncle Mac was the dopest, man. It's like we lived in the same neighborhood for a stretch in Tennessee. The neighborhood's called North Haven. And he was like one of many male presences in my life. He used to like cut our hair. You know what I'm saying? Me and my brother. You know what I'm saying? And he was that uncle. They was my aunt and uncle. They was both the ones. They was like the smokers, the partiers. You know what I'm saying? Sitting, drinking, playing music, having a good time. And they was always so damn cool. And like I remember my Uncle Mac. Like I was walking to my buddy Billy's house. My Uncle Mac saw me, and he's like, just hold on to the side. Cause he just let me hold on to the run board, hold on to the side of the truck and stand on the run board.
Oh
And
shit!
he's like, I'm gonna slow up. He just jump off. And I'm like, I gotta believe this guy. He just tell me what to do. And I remember like jumping off a moving vehicle as my Uncle Mac rode along because that's how dope he was, man. Real good dude, man. Rest in paradise to him. And he will be missed. I'm glad. If you believe in such matters, then he is back with his missus, and I hope they are well together again. So that's what's been going on in my world. Not a whole lot of this and or that. Oh, you know what? One tiny little side story. My kid came down today. It was like somebody told me, or I read somewhere that color vinyl don't sound as good as black vinyl, Dad. And I'm like, well, I know that to be bullshit. And I go, but let us have a lesson. And so I explained to them how I have 2 copies of Outkast AC Aliens. The Vinyl We Please release of that album that came out last year has a wonky side D. Terrible. It like sounds good, but it also has a real staticky crackle to it that's not what you normally get from records.
Mm-hmm.
So bad that they're actually going to send out. They actually told people we're going to send a repress out that I should be getting within the month because it finally has come around to like February when they said they was going to ship out the repress. But then I played them my Newberry Comics pressing of it, which is it was a blue and it's nice coloration and stuff like that. And I'm like, you can hear there's a sound quality difference here, but it's mostly because of how the tracks are spread out. So then I can reach back here and grab this. Then I'm explaining to them, this is 1, 2, and 3 versions that I own of Enter the Wu-Tang. I had realized that I didn't own Enter the Wu-Tang, one of my favorite albums. And I saw this one. You guys can see that it says yellow. It comes in yellow. I was like, that's cool as shit. That'll be a dope little record. And I get it, and I'm proud of it. And I posted on the hip hop vinyl group I'm in on Reddit. And somebody's like, that's missing the final skit. I'm like, what? What do you mean? If anybody fucks with Wu-Tang Clan, they know at the end of the Wu-Tang Clan, not the last thing they said, but one of the last things they said is, it's a secret. Never teach the Wu-Tang. Huge part of the album, because then it cuts and it goes, you must protect your neck, you must protect your neck. It's a big deal. And it's not on that yellow pressing.
Oh, shit.
So so this is one of the first times I ever had a conversation in the hip hop vinyl group, and I was like, okay, so which pressing has that? And he's like, you can get the 93 original or the 2000 repress. So that is a 2000 repress, and it has the proper skid on it. So I played them that version, and I'm like, you hear how in both cases those don't sound great because those are single records with not a lot of space in between the songs and whatever. This is the definitive pressing of that album. So Vinyl Me Please pressing of it, spread over 2 records, plenty of space. And I promise you, it was shocking to me how the sound quality. So I'm like, I'm going to play you the same part on all these records. I dropped the needle on this, and I'm like, I didn't touch this volume. The soundscape was so massive, and it sounded so much louder that I was like, and there you go. I go, you just heard the black vinyl, you just heard the color vinyl. It's never going to be the color that's going to make something sound better or worse. But it will be the way them records are spaced and how they pressed up and so forth and so on. And so I basically have to give my kid a little vinyl lesson and, of course, fuck up whoever says some dumb shit to them. Because I know they probably share like, nah, man, my pop just sat me down and we chopped it up and went and listened to several records in real short order. Because my day, like I said, it was slow in the office today. The office. And I like that whole experience. That's another.
That sounds like a nice family lesson. Like, I don't know, fuck it. We got the evidence, or we got the materials here. Like, let's do some experimenting.
Lee regularly asks me and has for a very long time. And in fact, if you look at my old Instagram, there's a picture of them spinning a record when they were itty bitty. Has always been interested in music but not just music, but records in general. So when it's all said and done, one day all of this will certainly be theirs, or a good chunk of it, and Xander will come and cherry pick what he fuck with the most. But I like that. I like sharing that bit of my hobby with my youngin', and that they did not seem, but they just were generally interested in it and want to have a conversation about it today. I was like, fuck with it. So
because that's like a modern day version of okay, let's all gather around in front of the fireplace and let me just share with you right now. You know what I mean? Like it's that beautiful moment where it's like you get to share, you get to bond and connect, So shout out to you for that.
Yeah, I dig it, man. I dig it. So
we'll be right back after these messages.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to another installment of On the Road with the Real ODP.
And me.
Yes, my lovely wife is here, as always.
Hi.
To fill in the gaps of my memory, which I have a very gappy memory.
That's funny that you say that, because I would think out of the two of us that, I'd be the one with the memory that need filling in.
I remember things that are not important. I have a great memory when it comes to trivial things, but not when it comes to turning off the water.
That is super true. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
How many times have we flooded our campsite?
I think it has an overflow, so it's not. Yeah, we flooded our campsite, but.
Yeah, we flooded our campsite at least twice.
Yes, since we last recorded. So we are coming to you from the sunshine state of Florida and finally getting some sunshine.
Finally. We've been in Florida for, 3 weeks now? 4 weeks?
Yes.
3 weeks?
Since,
Time is not real on the road. That time is a construct of society. It doesn't exist.
Yes.
So anyway, who knows how long we've been here?
It doesn't matter when you're having fun. Time flies.
Oh my gosh.
And we've had some fun.
Not my favorite, but...
It's been lacking, but we're about to get to some warm parts of Florida just in time to primitive camp. And
oh my gosh. Let's just take them on a chronological journey of Florida from when we got here until now. How's that sound?
That sounds good. So where did we start off? We started
in Pensacola because we came over from the other side of the Gulf.
Yes.
So we drove into Pensacola. We stayed at on the National Seashore, the Gulf National Seashore Park or whatever that's called. I don't remember. See, here we are.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yes.
We had good weather. The sand on the beaches was like talcum powder. It
made like a swishy sound, like when you had corduroy pants. Remember corduroy pants were popular back in the day?
Yeah.
I had a pair.
So did I. That's late 90s, baby.
And it made it sound like you're walking with corduroy pants, the sand.
It was really, really neat. So we had a lot of fun there. The weather was good. It was chilly. The water was cold, but
it was sunny.
It was sunny. And the kids played in the ocean anyway, so we had tons of fun.
And
so nothing super memorable happened there. We had fun.
We had fun playing in the sun.
Did you work while we were there?
A little bit.
Okay. And then we moved over to a state forest. So we wanted to see all the different ecosystems in Florida. And one of the things that we wanted to do was to swim in a spring. They have all these natural springs throughout Florida.
Yes.
And we wanted to go to one. So we stayed at a state forest, Weelaka?
I think it was Weelaka. It was the equestrian.
Yeah, we stayed, and there was a horse that was camping with us, and that was kind of fun. Well,
and we had a horse stay with us.
Not with us, but like at the campsite.
Oh yeah, at the campsite. No, the horse did not come inside.
We didn't invite it in for dinner and then make up the couch bed.
Yes.
So we had a horse friend.
And the kids bonded so well with that horse.
We had the Sulphur Springs while we were there, and that was
healing.
Yeah, you liked it.
I really liked the Sulphur Springs. It was cold. I didn't like that part, freezing my hang low. But it helped. It helped heal the mosquito bites on my legs. They look a lot better now.
Oh my gosh, you and
our oldest daughter. She
was covered in mosquito bites too, and you guys stayed in there for a long time. Came out, and you're both kind of, I would say, like 85% recovered.
Pretty much. We'll see what happens. We're at another mosquito infested area.
We're in the Everglades right now.
We're in the Everglades right now. We'll get to that.
Okay, we'll get there. Okay, so we were at the Sulphur Springs. It healed you. You loved it. It was not for me.
Oh, no, you don't like swimming with tadpoles and fishes.
We
never went over to the deep end or the other end of the water. I kept trying to go over there. The kids kept saying no, they don't want me to go. And I'm not one to upset my children if I can avoid it.
It was just, I don't know. Like, there's something super unnerving about I don't know. The whole thing was just not for me. So, like, there was, like, all the, like, the shore was all rocky and, like, muddy, and there were all these, like, moss and I don't know. It just felt like, and then it was such a different thing in the middle of the spring. It was like this crystal clear turquoise water. And so, I don't know. It was such a dichotomy of two different worlds that, like, I didn't want to swim over into the deep end. Like, I didn't even want to stay in the pool. It was too weird. I didn't like it. Plus, there were tadpoles in there.
There were tadpoles in there. I wonder if they had something to do with my healing.
How?
I don't know. I don't know the science of it.
Do you think they're like magic tadpoles?
Not magic. Might be a scientific explanation, like the mucus on their tadpole bodies. Makes my
You're an idiot. I love you. The mucus? You don't think it's the sulfur, which has been like scientifically proven?
All right, it was a sulfur, but who knows?
But also maybe a little bit of that mucus.
All right.
Okay, sorry. I'm rolling over in our bed because
this is where we record, by the way. A little behind the. We don't call it behind the scenes on the show. We call it inside baseball. Inside baseball for you. We record from our bed after the kids fall asleep.
Yeah, we lay here and we're comfy and cozy, and it's the only time it's ever really quiet.
It's no memorable food things to talk about.
No, Florida is not.
Well, we're hoping to get some Cubano food while we're
yeah, now that we're down south.
Down here, and I'm gonna get a real Cuban, not like that restaurant Cuban I had.
Oh my gosh! And all those little fruit stands. We're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna eat so well in Miami.
So look forward to that. A little teaser for you. Something to get the front of your pants moist.
Ew.
I'm just trying to be metaphorical here.
That's horrifying.
Okay.
Okay. So then we went, where were we? Wilaka.
Yes. And then we went to an RV park with lots of old people.
That's fine. Like, we weren't there for the park. We were there for Daytona Beach.
Yes. And we went to Daytona Beach. We went to see the Daytona 500, and Taylor would appreciate this. I played Daytona 500 by Ghostface Killer while we're circling the Daytona 500.
Yes, it was so memorable and it was not.
All right. Well, I mean, to go actually inside Daytona.
Into the raceway or whatever?
Yeah, Daytona Raceway. It was way too much for somebody who's not a fan of the sport of driving around in a circle for 500 laps. That wasn't for me, so we decided not to. But I saw the outside of it. It's huge.
It is huge. It is. They do have a very clever marketing trick, though.
Yeah, it made it look
seats?
like the seats. They're designed to make it look like there's people in the seats, even when there's no people in the seats.
They're like multicolored, so every seat is a different color, and it looked like the stadium was full. I don't know if it's a stadium. Is it a stadium?
It's a raceway.
Okay, it looked like the raceway. I don't know either. We don't know. That's why we didn't pay $25 a head for a ticket to go tour an empty raceway.
If you are a NASA head...
NASA?
Oh, I'm sorry, a NASCAR head. If you are they're N and AS...
I mean, they are entirely different worlds.
They are true. I don't know. I think the Venn diagram of NASA heads and NASCAR heads are two separate circles.
Entirely. They're on two separate pages.
But if you're a NASCAR head and you want to tour the Daytona 500, it costs about $25 a head. You think it's worth it? Go ahead. You can stay there if you have an RV. We did not.
Oh my gosh. There. How much? We looked at it because we were curious.
Yeah.
What was it? It was $1,000 for 2 nights?
Yeah, that's way too much. New rich from our blood. We got 6 kids. We got 4 kids.
What the fuck?
We're 6 family members, 4 kids.
We have 6 kids. I guess that's like a good deal if you're wanting to go and like watch the sport game.
Yeah, the race?
Yes.
Well, we did not. And I wasn't interested in an empty stadium. Our oldest daughter did think there was people in the stadium, and so did our second son. Thought there was people in the stadium because of the way they had the seats designed. So It's very clever. Maybe NASCAR's not as popular as we think it is because it's not always sold out.
Do you know what else? This is where we found out about Vanilla Ice.
Oh, yes. So Vanilla Ice has a song,
you
Ice
may
Ice
know
Baby.
It. Everybody in the world, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And you tell them, dear, you're the big Vanilla Ice fan.
Wow. I'm not a big Vanilla Ice fan. I was when I was 8.
Did you go see the movie Cool as Ice?
No.
Okay.
When did that come out?
At the peak of his popularity.
Really?
Yeah. He had a movie called Cool as Ice. And I remember the commercial line. The line from the commercial was like, "You better drop that zero and get with this hero."
No, I thought you were gonna say it was like one of those like Whitney Houston docudrama, like rest in peace movies where after his days of what is he now? He's like an Amish farmer or something.
He flips homes.
With Amish people, right?
Not with Amish people, just regular ass people. He just flips homes.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Where did I get that?
I don't know why you thought it was with Amish people.
Okay,
That's strange.
So anyway, in the song Ice Ice Baby, he says, how's it go? It's like A1A, Beachfront Avenue. We drove on A1A. It's the name of the road. There's Highway 1, which goes down the entire Atlantic side of Florida, and that's like State Route 1. And then there's all these like barrier islands off of the coast of, Daytona Beach, Miami Beach, all the beach cities are on those barrier islands, and the highway that goes down all those barrier islands is A1A, Beachfront Avenue. And we were so excited.
I didn't see any girls looking hot wearing less than bikinis, though.
Yeah. There was, I mean, it was 40 degrees and raining.
Yeah, so...
So, Vanilla Ice must have been in a different part. Do you know what part of Florida he is from?
I don't know. I want to say Miami.
Why? Just because it's a big city? Because it doesn't feel like a Miami.
Well, because Rick
kinda
Ross
guy.
is from Miami.
Who?
Rick Ross. You know, he was in the Wingstop commercials.
Wingstop commercials.
MC Hammer.
Wait, that's his name?
No, the song is called. He has a song called MC Hammer.
I have no idea.
I'll play it for you after this.
Oh Lord.
I'll make it my alarm that wakes me up in the morning.
All right, so that was exciting when we were in Daytona Beach. We saw the Daytona 500. We learned about Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
The sand was pink. That was
interesting.
That was like, the sand there was not as fun.
Oh, and that's where I took a picture for Twitter of saying, I know I give Florida a hard time, but you know, here's this place that was all exclusive, telling people they're welcome here and eat some ice cream here.
Oh, Sally's.
Yeah, Sally's. Shout out to Sally's.
Shout out to Sally's. On A1A, they have all these, you know, classic beach towns, souvenir shops, and in the windows and in the parking lots are all the Blue Lives Matter
The
flags.
Blue Lives Matter flag, the desecration of the flag.
Let's Go Brandons. That, I mean, they're like, I would venture to guess they are heavily like red.
Yes.
Or I don't even know what the people who have disassociated from Republican Party and become whatever they are.
I don't know.
Well, those people. And so it was really nice to see somebody who said, like, everyone's welcome here.
Yeah, that was nice.
The rainbows everywhere.
A little diamond in the rough.
Yeah. So.
And the ice cream was pretty good.
Where was that at Flagler Beach?
Flagler Beach, yes.
Flagler Beach. So if you're ever in the Flagler Beach area, go see Sally.
Yeah.
Um.
Tell them the real ODP sent you, and they'll say, who?
Yeah, they won't know. We didn't talk. We just bought ice cream from them.
Pretty much.
Let's see. What else did we do after that?
From there...
Do you want to talk about the plantation at all? Or no?
I didn't want to even admit that I went to a plantation.
To be fair, it was a plantation that was burned down.
Oh, yeah. Seminole Indians, they say Indians.
Do they?
I don't know. Seminoles. Fine. Better. Seminoles burnt down this plantation.
In the Seminole War of 1853, I don't know if it was 1853, but in one of the Seminole Wars between the white colonizers and the indigenous population, the Seminole Indians burned down their sugar plantation, which made me laugh so hard. But also the thing that made me laugh the most was that it had a depiction from a newspaper, like a cutout from an old-timey newspaper, and it was like, what was his name? Was it
God, I don't.
It was like,
I'd have to look at your pictures.
Was it
again.
Ocala?
Something like that.
It was one of the big national forests. It's got a national forest named after him now. It's either Osceola or Ocala, but the leader of the Indians signed the treaty by stabbing the treaty with a knife, and yes. Like, I was like,
and we're here for it.
Yeah, we're here. We support you. Whatever your name is, Ocala. I should really learn. That's really disrespectful to not know his name, but
I know lots. I don't know lots of names.
Yeah, I mean, this is where your useful information comes in handy.
Well,
stuff like this.
This
is important information.
This is important, so I can't remember it.
Oh boy. Okay. So that was funny. If you want to see the picture, I guess go to your Twitter page and I'll forward it to you.
I'll put it on there. Yeah.
Okay. It's good stuff.
And where from there? I want to get to the wildlife parts of things.
Well, that's where we just left today. Where were
Yes.
we? Where?
We
Oh,
were
the
in
prairie.
yeah, we're in the prairie.
So then we went from the Atlantic side, like the northern Atlantic side of Florida, to the middle. There's a big fatty lake called Okeechobee.
Yes, Okeechobee.
And we
Fun
were
to say.
just north of Okeechobee in this huge prairie.
Oh, it's really nice. There was wild turkeys roaming the campground and getting into fights with their own reflection in bumpers.
Oh my gosh. Our neighbor said that the turkey was like
The tom turkey.
yeah, the Tom
big
was
tom
pecking
turkey.
at the reflection of himself in the bumper of the car for over 2 hours.
Oh, but it wasn't really going to back down on that fight.
Well, listen, our daughter is like very insistent that they are super smart animals.
Well, I mean, they don't know what reflections are. It's like I'm trying to think of a human comparison, but I can't.
You know, it would be like some kind of space alien thing for us.
She also got offended when I said if dolphins were so smart, how come they're stuck in the ocean?
What do you mean stuck in the ocean?
Well, I mean, we as humans, they're supposed to be smarter than us, right? They got these bigger brains than us, right?
Wait, no, I don't think they're
Dolphins?
smarter than humans. I think they're smarter than dogs.
Well, dolphins, we as humans figured out how to go into the water even though our bodies weren't designed for it. Dolphins have not figured out how to get on the land. So their
Maybe
bigger
they don't
brain,
want to.
their bigger brain is not helping them.
I mean, to be fair, would you want to come up here if you had the whole ocean to swim in?
No, I guess it's like 75% of the 75% of the world's covered in water. I guess they don't need to come on the land.
We were watching this thing for, I don't know if you were around, but we were watching this thing for the Everglades this morning. And one of the things that they talked about was how they were introducing all the animals that were coming that you can see in the Everglades. And they were like, and the most devious killer of all. And that's how they introduced the dolphin.
Why are they devious killers?
Well, because I guess they're sneaky. I guess they, like, lure their prey, and they're like, hey, let's have fun. And they bat them around and play pickle in the middle or whatever, and then they eat them.
Oh, they are cute animals. I see getting fooled by that. Speaking of which...
Yeah.
Oh, am I jumping ahead?
I don't know. Where are we? Who even knows?
We are in Okeechobee, and Okeechobee is where we went to go see... we went to go on that boat tour.
Oh, that is pretty cool. So, the weather was garbage. We're in this amazing prairie. Our swamp buggy tour got canceled.
Yeah.
Which was a bummer for all the kids. And then it's this dark park, so like you're supposed to be able to see this vast night sky, and it's cloudy and raining the whole time we're there. It's freezing, cloudy, and raining. And there's nothing to do. I mean, what did they say? It was 54,000 acres or something? It was ridiculous. And so there's nothing around to do. And we live in an RV with 4 kids. So it was just a bummer, right? We were just not having a good time.
Until my wife took it upon herself, as always, to schedule something fun for the family, and we had fun.
We did. We decided to go. I found out that if I were to just drive straight west from where we were, there's the Manatee Nation Center.
Yes.
And that was so cool.
We got to see a manatee in its own habitat.
All of its majestic glory.
Yeah, they were big old things.
They were so cute.
And they were very cute. Tour, and I didn't expect to see them, but we got to see dolphins in their natural habitat as well, just swimming along, a mama and a baby, bopping along the water.
Yeah, that was really, really neat.
Yes, that was really neat.
We were really close to them.
Yeah, we could reach them.
Well, we were, like, the boat tour went around, what did they call it, a lagoon? It was like some water area that was not quite the ocean yet. Do we have... And and there were like all these mangroves in it, and it was really like he kept saying, what did he say? It was not very deep. It was like,
Well, it's not. He said it averaged 3 to 5 feet. There's some deeper parts, but the average is 3 to 5 feet. I remember that for some reason.
yeah, well, that's all he talked about.
He didn't say much. I can't believe I tipped him.
You were just, it's hard to make a living in COVID.
I know.
You're a good guy.
I am a good guy.
So we got to see dolphins. We got to see pelicans.
These huge pelicans. I didn't think they'd get that big, but they were big.
They were huge. They were probably what? The size of a small pony?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, the size of a pony, a bird, was huge.
They make some birds big.
They're like dinosaurs.
Yeah, well, they are descendants. And, we got to see pelicans die. I don't know why, but...
Wait, what? Telicans?
Pelicans. Did I say telicans?
Yeah, are you okay?
Pelicans.
Are you having a stroke?
No, I am not. I'm not having a stroke.
Okay.
I'll let you know if I do.
No, you won't.
But, we got to see pelicans dive. They make a huge splash when they hit the water, like a human-sized splash.
They are like... They're like when you do a cannonball.
Yes.
They're not graceful little land or watered landers.
Well, they tried to hit the water hard enough to scoop up some fish.
I don't know.
And that was neat.
I don't know because was sitting on me kicking my face.
Our youngest daughter was on, she was getting bored and she was acting crazy. Lucky she was free because she was not taking any of this in. Children 3 or under are free.
I thought it was under 3 and we paid for her.
What? Why would we do that? Why don't we just lie and say she's 2?
Because she's not 2. And the money went towards the Manatee Observation Center. And you're tipping people left and right over here. And I'm actually paying...
All right, I'm going to stop tipping. Should I stop tipping? I'll let you... give us some show feedback. Should I continue to tip for pickup? Or should I just not tip for pickup? I'm just worried about these COVID times and these people putting themselves at risk. But it is Florida and they don't care about risk. So should I hold off on tipping until I get the feedback or continue on?
I don't know. I don't know what's right anymore. This is a very weird time to be alive.
It sure is.
It's like the frigging Wild West where there are no rules.
And then there was, and that was like our last, to cap off the kind of a nice little stretch there, in Okeechobee was on the last couple nights, the clouds did clear up, and we did get to do some stargazing.
Oh, you gotta tell them what you guys saw when you were driving home. Speaking of stargazing.
Speaking of stargazing, which was lovely, by the way, I was driving home with my oldest.
Like 3 of the 4.
3 of the 4. I had the 2 older kids and our youngest. Our second son decided to stay home with his mother.
He was mad at you?
I'm in a tree, don't do it. And he got mad. He's like, I'm not going. And I'm like, all right, I'm not going to fight with him. He was mad. He was just in a mood.
He was so mad.
He just didn't get enough to eat.
Came in and he slammed the door. I'm not going with Daddy. I'm not doing it. Okay.
All right.
Well, anyway, so you're driving home.
And we see a rocket streaking through the sky. I'm like, at first I thought it was a plane. And then I'm like, wait a minute. That plane has smoke and fire trailing it. And it's a big trail of smoke. And that's when my oldest daughter's like, that's a rocket. Like, that's not a rocket, is it? It turns out it was a rocket. When we got home, she saw it split off and everything. I missed that part because of the angle I was at, but she saw it split off, like
the thrusters fell off or whatever.
Yeah, the thrusters fell off. And we looked it up, and sure enough, it wasn't NASA. It was one of those stupid SpaceX things. I mean, all right. Maybe it's not stupid. It's just not NASA. It was sure enough one of those SpaceX had a launch.
Well, no, let's talk about how stupid SpaceX is. So I have a cousin. She works for NASA. She's not listening to this podcast.
That's too bad. I think she'd enjoyed it.
Yeah?
Maybe not.
Well, I guess we could ask her about the NASCAR Venn diagram of people. If you happen to be one of those people, reach out to the show
and say it's not two separate circles.
Tell us about yourself. We'd like to know you. So anyway, I have this cousin, and she told me about a phenomenon called space junk. Were you a part of this conversation?
I missed it.
You don't know about space junk?
No, I'm always chasing. When you're having conversations with your family, I'm chasing around kids.
Okay, so apparently, since not go anywhere, they're like it's
like bullets.
No, like satellites and stuff.
Oh,
like stuff that goes to space. Like fucking Elon Musk shot a car into space. Remember that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Why did he do that?
Well, guess what? That stuff doesn't come down. It has its own orbit around space. So if you look it up on the internet, you can see like these pictures of like this cloud of just like metal shrapnel just floating around, and it's in like one of the layers that isn't quite outer space but isn't in our atmosphere. So you can't see it during the day, and you can't see it like at night, but it's there. And as a NASA scientist, she is very, very upset by like idiots who throw cars into space. And Elon Musk should not be having any rockets that he's allowed to shoot off.
Oh, okay. So, all right. And I can't believe we saw that, though. That was pretty cool to see a rocket. I've never seen a rocket streaking through the sky before.
Oh, I know. I'm so jealous. I am like for real mad at you. Not at you, but
just like you can be jealous.
Yeah, there's like a little I wanted to see that. So I told my son who didn't go, I said, hey, you and I will go see a real rocket launch, and we're going to somehow figure that.
Good luck. Hopefully he forgets that you promised that. He mentioned it today.
No, I mean, I'll make it happen.
All right.
Don't doubt me. We'll go see a rocket launch. Okay. But I'm not bringing you guys.
Just
you already saw a rocket launch. What?
Are you going to go to Elon Musk and ask him to launch a rocket just for your son?
No, but from my super quick Google search on, like, did a rocket launch today in Florida, I found out that they shoot off rockets just about every day, so...
Oh, well, Florida's just making space junk.
Not just Florida, but, like... And then there's also all those other rocket launcher places, like Texas or whatever.
Huh.
So... That's why there's so much space junk. And I encourage everyone to go Google what space junk is and learn about it and get angry about it. And
we haven't colonized space yet. We're already polluting it.
Right, like it's not bad. We can't stop at the oceans. Like, whatever. I can't.
I got you all upset.
I know.
And this is supposed to be a fun, a lighthearted affair.
Right now, the world is ending.
Well, it's not ending. And didn't you love the beautiful view of the stars that we saw?
It was really pretty. Now I'm thinking about the stupid pythons in the Everglades. Oh.
I know. Well, we as a human race have to do better and stop polluting space. The listeners are used to it. Well, and we will... Hopefully, when we come back to you guys, we will be talking about delicious Cuban sandwiches and not the white restaurant Cuban sandwiches. I'm hoping.
What? White restaurant Cuban sandwiches?
That restaurant I went to that had a Cuban sandwich.
Where was that?
Right after the manatee adventure. You don't remember?
Oh, that was...
Yeah, you had coconut shrimp salad?
Yeah.
See? Not important, but I remembered it.
That's your forte.
Yeah. And we talking about real Cuban sandwiches. if I can sneak off and
Nope.
I can maybe get a Cuban cigar.
No, you will kill her. She will die of heartbreak and never trust you again.
My oldest daughter is like, you had your chance to get a Cuban cigar before you had kids, Dad. I'm like, jeez.
You said I'd never been to Florida.
Why?
And she said you did go when you were 8.
Yes. Well, I can't have a Cuban cigar when I was 8.
You don't think your dad would have bought you one?
He once smoked a cigar in the house, and it was stunk so bad. It was a bad cigar, though. This is a Cuban. This is a Cuban.
But we're
it's
not
the Cadillacs
Cuba.
of cigars.
We talked about it. Both my oldest daughter and I talked about it, and we decided that we would not be upset if we were in Cuba.
We're in Miami. We might as well be in Cuba.
We're not. We are in Miami.
They have a street named after Fidel Castro.
It's not Cuba.
Okay.
So
they got Cuban cigars.
When we go on our little tour across the pond to Cuba to get all of our medication refilled.
Yeah.
And have any elective surgeries that we need because of free, affordable health care, we will.
You have some cigars?
We'll get you a Cuban cigar.
I feel like you'd still be mad with me even if I did smoke a cigar.
I mean, I would definitely 100% not be happy. But if we were in Cuba, I would understand.
Okay, so angry but understanding, and that's marriage, folks.
Yes, there it is.
All right.
So,
from the Sunshine State, where there's Cubans, there's a Ronald Reagan Parkway, even though he's not from Florida.
Why were you so angry about that?
Because I don't want to get into politics right now.
Okay, that's fine. But, like, my goodness, if you've ever driven with somebody who has road rage at politics.
Road rage is that guy who shot a gun in the car. I just say fuck Ronald Reagan.
That's like the hardcore road rage. That's like on the scale of black and white. That's black. But there's like a lot of gray in between black and none.
Okay.
So, but man, every time it was like, turn left on Ronald Reagan Parkway, you were like, fuck you.
I said fuck you. I said fuck Ronald Reagan. And I think that's a sentiment that a lot of people can agree with.
Maybe. I don't know enough about politics before I was born.
Yes.
Well, I guess he was president when I was born. So, as a baby, I didn't pay much attention to him. Yeah, that's it. Short and sweet.
Yep. And we're hoping we'll hit you back with some more lovely times from the sunny state of Florida.
Yeah, we've got some more adventures in Florida. We're about to embark on some... Oh my gosh. The weather. Can we just talk about that for like 1 second before we go?
Second.
1 second. So it's been shit weather the whole time we're here. 50 degrees. This is not what we're expecting from the Sunshine State. So we finally get above 75. And it's 75 and it's sunny. And tomorrow's going to be what, 82?
That's what it says.
And we don't have air conditioning.
No, we're primitive camping.
We are, we're out in the middle of a national park. So there's no electricity. We have no air.
Lucky I'm recording this on a phone.
Yeah. Well, we have a solar panel, so
we'll figure it all out.
There's some electricity. It's just not enough to run an air conditioner, and some of us have our. You think that 80 degrees is the cutoff for like when jeans are not appropriate?
Well, it's not appropriate because both my jeans are dirty right now. So.
Well, no, but like heat wise.
That's true. I do. I think you shouldn't wear shorts until it hits the 80-something.
We are different cultures.
We are. But we still love each other.
Absolutely.
All right. Until the next time, people, you keep on trucking, and I haven't thought of a great sign-off yet. Pretty much.
Okay, well, I guess good night.
Good night.
Skip.
You know how we do it, people. We once we've done all this, we take a walk on to the mean streets of Reddit, and we simply ask the question: am I the asshole? And I pulled a few this week, but as it has been in weeks past, it's one of these motherfuckers that I must read. So, because I need opinions on it.
He gets
That
a
would
fast
be-
pass.
Yeah. That one goes to the top. But your other options are, well, here, the one that I am definitely going to read. Let me just give you that one so you guys know. Am I the asshole for giving my mother-in-law a fake copy of my house key and exposing her on Christmas dinner? It's too good. It's too good. Here are the ones you guys can choose from. Am I the asshole for how I reacted to my fiance surprising me with our quote our dream house? Sheesh. Am I the asshole for telling my son's girlfriend to give back the necklace that he gave to her son? Just the first sentence in that one is it's something. Next up, am I the asshole for making my girlfriend pay for everything after she implied she does?
Ah.
Am I the asshole for taking my oldest child to my sister's child-free wedding? Mind you, just if you're interested in that one at all, this involves overseas travel as well as her oldest child being 19. So not like a baby. Come on.
Okay.
If that one held any interest to you, I just wanted to give you a little background on that one. And this one, am I the asshole for calling my brother's fiance greedy and a gold digger?
I'm actually really interested in the one about having his girlfriend pay for things. Because I feel like that one can really, depending on the context, it could really go both ways.
And what do you think?
I want to hear the one about the dream house.
All right. Then you know what, you get 3 this week, everybody. We will start with Emma Asshole for how I reacted to my fiance surprised me with our dream house. I'm not sure if this is the world's most ungrateful. I'm not sure if I'm the world's most ungrateful person right now or not. So, my fiance and I get married soon. The plan was that once we get married, I would move in with him, and then when we were ready to start a family, we would buy a house together. I guess he changed his mind because he surprised me with our dream house. The house is beautiful. And if we had house hunted together, I think I would have fallen in love with it. However, I was so upset we wouldn't be able to pick our forever home together that I just started crying when he told me. I didn't know how to explain my reaction, and I could see how it had upset him. So I asked him to take me home. When I got home, my family asked me what happened, and I explained. They were all very upset with me and said my reaction was bad and that I should have been happy he had bought us a house. They told me to call him and apologize. This apologize is spelled with an S, making these people foreign of some sort. And I didn't. I just went to sleep early. This happened on Sunday, and I finally called him yesterday. He sounded upset with me, and I'm not sure if if it's because of my reaction or because I never called or texted him sooner after what happened. Well, you are his fiance, and I don't know how many days passed in between this, but it seems days passed with you not communicating with them. I'm pretty sure that's really yes, the house is definitely a part of this, but not communicating with them, bonus. Am I the asshole for not communicating for multiple days? Yes, you are the asshole. But the house, can't call it.
Yeah. I know how it can be when you're like that definitely was a decision he shouldn't have made alone.
Yeah.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
The way she reacted, yeah, everything to have some kind of reaction. To call her a asshole, the person asshole, maybe is a little bit heavy handed, but it's definitely some problems in the relationship.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too, because it's like, okay, everything leading up to not communicating with him is not on her. Like, because to me, if we're in a relationship and we are buying a home, not fucking Omaha steaks, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is an investment. This is a commitment. And there are a lot of things that go into this. Is it the right neighborhood? Is it in the right school district? Is it going to meet our needs? Does it have an office? Does it have enough bathrooms? Like a lot of factors come into play. And even when she said, like, I might have even chosen this house. But to me, that's also like a red flag because it's like, oh shit, you're just gonna be like this impulsive with our money and be like, oh, I just bought a fucking crib right now. Like, no, if we're gonna be a team, we need to be a team, because then and I'm assuming probably if I were to put myself in this guy's shoes, he might have like romanticized it too and thought he was doing the right thing. Like, I'm gonna sweep her off her feet and show her that I like bought this house. But I think that's where the assholishness comes in, is that she should have talked to him and just been like, listen, man, like that shit was not cool. So let's just kind of like talk about this. Like, moving forward, we got to be a team. Like maybe I'll learn to love the house, like, but just know like that was not right. So initially not the asshole, but for not communicating, yeah, kind of an asshole.
I learned one thing a long time ago, and I think all men should hear this. Every woman I've ever met never wanted to be swept off their feet.
No, zero.
None of them.
Yeah.
No, I mean
Straight
none that I've dealt with in my life, where it's like they want to be able to have say in everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that's fair. You can get away with small surprises in terms of like, I got you this little thing that
Smoothie.
fits in a small bag. I got you the smoothie.
yeah.
I got you this treat you enjoy. Do not buy outfits. Don't pick the clothes. Don't pick the shoes. Jewelry is a little sketchy too. Unless like it's a real big like favorite, because but like in terms of life changing like surprises, no, nobody likes that. Like don't do it. That's a big misstep.
Don't listen to those Lexus commercials. Don't listen to it.
One of the comments in here is, my stepdad gifted my mom a BMW a few years ago, ribbon and all. She wouldn't stop bitching about it for a whole year. My stepdad went to the dealership with her and traded in for a different model. She's happy now. Lesson learned, LOL. Yeah, don't like that whole Lexus event to remember and all that bullshit. And nah, you cannot make financial decisions of that magnitude without having involved your partner in it. You can't. You shouldn't. I mean, maybe you can, but you should definitely not. So
I think one of the most realistic car commercial was when I think it was a Chevy one, and they had the guy had bought like a Chevy Traverse and then like a Chevy pickup truck.
Oh, and she picks the other one.
Yeah, and she takes the truck. And now he's stuck with the Traverse. I thought that one was just about right. But the rest of them,
because I like that commercial because he goes, and she goes, I love it, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's you, baby.
Yeah. And don't worry about it. You're still gonna get to drive it. Like,
shout for shout. You know what I'm saying? And
my wife has her car. She never drives. Always me.
I try never to drive my partner's car. I only drive my car.
I try it all the time. I'm like, you could drive. She's like, I want to do it. But also too, just I guess advice for the fiance or the guy in the relationship. I'm assuming is a guy. Like always do the opposite of Homer Simpson. Like that's just like the short and sweet. Like when he bought that bowling ball for Marge, she didn't want that. Don't do that.
You're Homer. Man, I love that episode. That's one of my favorite episodes of The Simpsons. All right. Am I the asshole for making my girlfriend pay for everything after she implied she does? Me, 29 male, and Maddie, 30 female, have been together for 3 years. We live together. Maddie's an anesthesiologist, and I own my own landscape design company. Due to me working mornings and being home earlier, I do most of the shopping and cooking. We split all other duties, 50-50, and pay 50-50 on bills. I make solid money, but most of it is put back into the business, so I don't have as much spending money as Maddie. Maddie likes to think I'm some sort of trophy boyfriend. First time was when we were out with her family. She's the pride of her family because her family never went to college, let alone medical school. Maddie said OP does most of the housework, so I'm not overwhelmed when I get home. Her aunt said, Maddie, it's amazing that you snagged yourself a trophy boyfriend while working so many hours. Then Maddie's mom says, look at you, finding a man who supports you. Maddie said, I'm glad I can support the both of us.
Oh.
Ooh.
She told her friends she was treating me to a vacation. Her friend said, wow, Maddie, sugar mama out here. I told Maddie how uncomfortable it was that she told everyone that she was buying the trip. Her response was, I was being ridiculous because we're a team. My parents asked how we were enjoying the new place we recently moved. Maddie started going on about how much more house it is and how she is thankful for my help and willingness to support her career. A couple of things about how supportive I am. How my job is tough on me. I don't find it that tough. And how she's thankful she's able to cover the house while I build my business. Afterward, my parents called me to ask if everything was okay, if my business was struggling, and if Maddie was having to cover for us, then they could help out. I said Maddie spent more on her down payment than I did, but in no way did she cover our house. I brought this up to Maddie, and she sees no problem. She says I should be glad to have a girlfriend who makes money and wants to splurge on me. So I haven't paid for anything in the last 4 months. Date nights, tickets, grocery, Wi-Fi, gas, nothing. I stopped cooking, so now Maddie orders food for us. Whenever the bill shows up, I say, she got it. Or whenever I need gas, hey babe, can you get this one? Can you get this one? Okay. I'll cook your favorite food later though. Maddie hasn't said anything, but I think she's getting annoyed. So last weekend it was her. She forgive me. It was me, her sister, brother-in-law, and parents. When the bill showed up, the waiter gave it to me, and I said, "I'm actually the trophy boyfriend, so I don't pay things." And handed the bill to Maddie.
Damn.
On the way home, she said she was being standoffish. All she said was, "You didn't have to do that." I said I covered my half of the bills, paid for dates, brought her gifts, and don't like that she implies she pays for everything. I said that she wants me to quit doing this, then she can tell everyone the truth, or she can keep paying. Am I the asshole? So I was very prepared to be like, yo partner, your girlfriend on some bullshit. It's disrespectful. I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, oh, I'm a manly man. I need to make the money and whatever. But he does do what he's supposed to do. He is somebody who's doing his part of this, and to be constantly told to the contrary, or and have others told to the contrary, I can understand why it would bother a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because I think that would go both ways too. I could
Yeah.
see that being, so I think it's like if this was a guy to the girlfriend, like, oh, I cover all her shit. If she didn't have me, she wouldn't have this. Like,
Yeah.
it kind of plays on both ends, but it's just like it's a matter of devaluing a person when they contribute to the overall everything.
Yeah. Him not paying for anything for multiple months, I didn't think that made him the asshole either. If they talk about it, be about it.
Yeah.
What made him the asshole was I'm the trophy boyfriend and embarrassing her in front of her people. Now I know you're saying, well, she embarrasses him in front of his people. Sure thing. Two wrongs don't make it right.
Don't make it right.
Yeah.
And I think it's jacked up that she would do that, of course, but I think it's fucked up that he would do it too, especially because he knows how it feels. So why would you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel like in relationships, period, kind of what makes I say this a lot, having a clear conscience is the softest pillow. Just because she was tripping or saying shit out of line, don't mean that he needed to.
Yeah.
Kind of doing things or um, like charity is silent or like it's not charity. That's not charity. But you know what I mean. It's
No,
like
I
when you
fully get what you're saying. Yeah.
when you do something from your heart, it should I mean most times it should be silent. Like
Yeah.
so I feel like he was being an asshole.
Yeah.
See, I think in this scenario, like we're dealing with two potentially like immature people. And
Totally.
I don't mean childish in the sense of immature, but like I don't think they're at a place yet where they are having those, just like the previous conversation, have those meaningful conversations. If I tell you, hey, you're kind of treating me shitty, like damn, okay, I acknowledge what you're saying. Let me try to do better or something like that. Like they got to have that type of relationship. I think for her to communicate with him the way that she does publicly, like that is hurtful. I still don't think he's the asshole. I think he's petty. Like that's what he is. He is
Grand
petty.
petty.
And so it's just like I do agree though that trophy boyfriend statement might have flown better at home. You know what?
Like I said, that's when he crossed over the asshole, in my opinion. It's like, bro, you know what it is to have your feelings hurt in public. Don't do that to somebody else. Despite you thinking you teaching lessons, that's not what a relationship is. It's not. This is not class. You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
because that statement, you know what, and I'll give it that. I'll say that statement of him doing that in that time is an asshole move because it's like you wanted to have a fight, like, and you wanted to let these people know you want to fight, you know. But I agree with Ant over here because it's like if you do, like when you're in a healthy relationship, like you should be fine with doing things without that reward. Like, because it's not about like, I did the thing, now fucking praise me. When it's like, I think the best thing I ever heard was, she might have been on the read when they said, we shouldn't have to congratulate a fish for swimming. It's like, it's just what you're supposed to do. Like, yeah, you know, sometimes I'm gonna do the dishes, sometimes she's gonna do the dishes, sometimes I'm gonna but it's like to keep the house maintained, to keep the family together. Like there's just some things you should do, and it doesn't, because what was the red flag for me was we split things 50-50. We do this, we do that, and it's like, oh, you're two separate relationships that have negotiated a contract.
Yeah,
that's not a relationship.
Goodness gracious. That one bothered me. This one right here is a burner. Like I said, I don't know where I came across this one from. I don't know. I don't, because this is not something. It turns out I had to go research it and go look it up because it wasn't just somewhere. So wherever I came across it at, I was just like, get the fuck out of there. It had to be TikTok. Somebody must have read, you know, what those every night you'll see somebody reading and read it on TikTok, and they're just like, it's just a computer voice reading it. So it had to have been that. Am I the asshole for giving my mother-in-law a fake copy of my house key and exposing her on Christmas dinner? I want to preface this by saying that I, female, 34, married my husband, male, 37, a year ago. His mom is snoopy and annoying AF. She can't help it. That is just how she is, as my dear in-laws say. My husband and I purchased a new house recently. My mother-in-law kept pushing to get an emergency key. She promised she would only use it in an emergency, but given the fact that she has had an emergency key to our old apartment and walked in on us being intimate twice, my husband didn't think it was a big deal. I just couldn't trust her. So I sent her a fake key after she kept pushing. And she had a smug, I guess, look on her face after I hand delivered it to her. Days gone by, and on Christmas dinner, mother-in-law angrily called me out on the fact that I gave her a fake copy of the house key. She shamed me for doing this in front of everyone, but in my defense, I asked her how she found out, and she said days ago when she came over at 4 while my husband and I were out. I reminded her, didn't you promise you wouldn't use it unless there's an emergency? So you tried to get in when there was no emergency, and you broke the promise you made to us. She looked red in the face, and the other family started staring, and some even laughed at her for the face she made. She suddenly got up from her seat and rushed into the kitchen where she had a huge meltdown. So loud, the next door neighbors must have heard it. Literally, I've never heard a 60-plus-year-old woman throw a tantrum like that. Needless to say, dinner went awkward, and my husband and his sister were giving me looks. My husband went off on me in the car and said I lied and manipulated and humiliated and exposed his mom, and said he wouldn't have let me get away with it had he known. We had an argument, and he's demanding I apologize to his mom for my childish behavior and for ruining Christmas dinner for the whole family. Am I the asshole?
No.
So we're I'll off that ETA. So this went off unexpectedly And I thought I'd show my husband some pretty helpful comments I found here minutes ago. But he got mad at me when he saw it and said I was nuts to talk about his family online. He demanded my phone so he could delete it, but I refused, and I went upstairs into the bedroom. I've never seen him so agitated, and I didn't think he'd react like that, honestly. But thank you guys for the support. It really means so much to us. I'll update if I can. Thanks again. So,
Wow.
no, you're not an asshole. Your mother-in-law is a POS, and I'm looking
So
at
is
that
your
chick
husband
sideways. Your
and his
husband,
sister.
and well, sister kept her mouth shut. They just gave her a look. But
Okay.
husband definitely did fight after that, and then fought again after that. Meaning, that's seemingly 3 strikes.
See, but I disagree. I disagree with both you guys.
Oh,
Okay.
please make this better.
They are both assholes because she never had to give the mom a key. She didn't, with the intent to
To
expose her,
humiliate.
the intent to humiliate her. That's what makes her an asshole. She didn't need to give her a key. Just be like, hey, listen, this is my crib. You keep asking me. I'm telling you, I'm not giving you a key. And that's it. Like, you're a grown ass adult with a place. You're married. This is between you and your husband. Like, and I think that conversation should have occurred again, like the home buying thing. Like, hey, we need to talk about this. Your mom keeps pressing me about a key. She's already walked in on us twice. As we were getting it on. I'm not going to give your mom a key. I'm just letting you know she's not getting a key. Like, at least draw him in, and then to be prepared to have this out at some point. Like, that's an asshole-ish. That's like the guy who just did the I'm the trophy boyfriend.
Yeah.
He waited for the moment to make a situation. That's an asshole move, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I agree that she's an asshole, but man, that was a sweet asshole.
Oh yeah. No, hey, I would have been there, full, just eating, getting more sides. Just oh shit.
I wish, like, no, from a very young man, watching television, like, they always have mother-in-law suck, man. That shit is so true. It's just so true.
You know what it is? It's and I don't know maybe if there's gay people out there, or there are people out there who have a different relationship situation. It is mother-daughter relationships that are oftentimes what the challenge is, because they got their own foibles that your ass doesn't have to walk into. And so when Vanessa and her mama get into it, which happens more often than you would think, and I don't think she'd be mad at me for saying that, it is like, it's not I can choose sides. It is a who the fuck who, because it's basically always be Vanessa. You know what I'm saying? I'm always gonna be Team Vanessa, but it's also like, but then I'm shitting on your mama, and that don't look hot. You know what I'm saying? I can't be talking wild records about your mama, but then it's like your mama doesn't upset you in a way, so I kind of mad at her for upsetting you. So it's like it's been very interesting. Me and Vanessa have been at this point dating. At this point, I mean, we're deep in a relationship that we live together, so on. But in August of this year, it will have been 10 years since our first date.
Yeah,
which is insane to say. And in that time, in those 10 years, I went from absolutely despising her father to thinking, man, you are a really good dude who has grown as a person. To having no real feelings for her mother, and still not having really no real feelings for her mother. I'm neither here nor there on her mom. You know what I'm saying? I don't like super love her mom. I don't hate her mom or nothing like that there. But I oftentimes watch when shit gets sideways between them, and I'm like, oh baby.
Yeah. I'm sorry for this.
Yeah. And so I get it. I don't know what it is. Vanessa, my mother loves Vanessa, and Vanessa seems to love my mother. So I don't think there's any. But also, my mom live half a country away. You know what I'm saying? It's not. Yeah. Who knows what it would be if my mama was president in town? How my relationship with my mother would be, or how Vanessa's relationship with my mother would be. Yeah. So I really can't speak to it. But
Well, I think going back to what you were saying though, just that like it's the fine line between being there for somebody and like getting them fired up, you know, because it's very easy to feel that fire. Like, man, yeah, she's crazy, she's out of control, she's wild. And sometimes you just have to do a lot of like, yeah, man. Yeah, I know. No, you're right. No,
Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah, I hear. I say a lot of nothing quite often. Yeah, damn. Oh, that's wild. Okay. Uh-huh. Because it's like it's just giving the person the opportunity to express, to
Yes.
just get it off their chest. But it's also easy to be like, man, fuck her too. Like she's always saying crazy shit. And you know what? Her fucking mac and cheese terrible. Because that conversation can come back to you. Oh, that face said a sentence. But then it's that moment when you said too much, and then it's like, yeah, and fuck you, T, because when last time you were talking shit about my mom, and it's like, whoa, I thought we were talking shit together. It's like it's that whole game of like, I can, but you can't.
Yeah.
I can say shit, you can't say shit, so just don't say shit.
Yeah. And that's kind of what happened in this incident as you read about it. You just embarrassed the shit out of my mama. Now I could have did that shit, but you can't do that shit.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
And that's basically what that situation comes down to. I'm not saying this person's okay. There's enough sprinkling of asshole in there, like Jarvis said. Everybody an asshole in this situation. Everybody sucks here because that's some fucking most foul. It was a hype ass get back. That's for real.
Yeah, for real.
Well, how you know I wouldn't home?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, if anything, what you need, what I would always recommend, they need like one of them cameras at the door. You just catch them slipping every time. It's like,
man. Hey, but she hit her with the Bill Duke. Okay, you know you done fucked up, right?
You done fucked up, right?
See, because you said that key was for emergencies. So, what was that emergency?
What was the emergency? And in fact, what emergency is that you need to come to my house? Unless I slipped in the tub and called your ass and said, "Come through." Right. Don't worry about it. Ain't nothing that you need to do emergency wise.
Yeah, you tell me you went to the McDonald's 2 blocks over and now you got the shits. Okay. All right, I hear you. You know what? You gotta go. That's cool. No problem. I get it. But if you're just here just to be going through my fucking underwear drawer right now, nah. You don't need to.
Whew, sweet baby Jesus. Anyway, I thought that was a burner, and I wanted to share that with you, the listeners, and y'all, my homeboys. Thank you. But let's see. I'm caught up on. I'm caught up on Boba Fett. Mm-hmm. Though this week's episode was definitely a more of a Mandalorian episode than a Boba Fett episode.
More than straight up.
Yeah. Caught up on Abbott Elementary. Caught up on Grand Crew. This week's Grand Crew was fucking fantastic. So the Abbott Elementary was good too, but the Grand Crew was real good. Grand Crew, my man Carl Tart, Nicole Byer, Echo. I can't remember Echo's last name, but they had my man from Superstore on there this week who played. I don't know if y'all watch Superstore, but he was the dude in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
He was on there this week and playing the one brother's brother. So I was like, oh, that's hype. I really enjoyed this week's Grand Crew. It was very well done.
So I've listened to almost every podcast Carl has ever been on.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you I'll go to Stitcher and just pull up Carl. That man is I know you're a California podcast legend, Chaffee.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Carl Tart is the California podcast king. He has been on anybody that will ask him to do it, he'll do it. He is a legend. And one thing he talked about is the guy who was the co-star this week. How that guy, I think is they're in the UCB, right? Upright Citizens Brigade. Like that guy is he's a legend there. He was like one of the first black guys that put him on and would put him on shows. So that was just and that's how all of them got that show together. They pretty much were in UCB together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they were just pretty much hooking them up.
Improv, get back, fuck with it.
Yeah.
Well, it was really well done. I very much enjoyed that episode, and so I know I talk about it every week, but I want to talk about it every week because I know me and Carl ain't like homies, but I do consider him a friend. Like I said, we talk regular enough that I'm gonna say you a friend, and I want his show to do well, but also just black actors, man. I'm always gonna try to show love for people of color, actors of color, producers, writers, and so forth. to get as much shine as I have as possible. And if I got anything to say about it, there you go. And I happen to have this platform, so I can do just that. I got to get. I am supposed to get Carl on the show. I should have been done it by now. I will make it a point to reach out and do that and just and do as much. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's
Janelle James on Abbott Elementary, she just does these little bitty things that are so hilarious on the show, that get me every time. She is just I know, like it's an ensemble cast,
yeah.
but she is my favorite character on that show, and like she, you give her a moment, she makes it a lifetime every show.
Yeah. So you should be fucking with them because some shows are amazing, and you know what I'm saying, support folk. That's how we do. I've been playing. Bro, I'm riding on Horizon now, man. In that shit. So I just got to a point where Lance Reddick's character was like, "If you got other shit to do, go do it, because this is it." So it might be it. I don't know if I'm at the it, but it might be close to it.
Let me tell you. Yeah, okay, so that I know specifically where you are right now. For real. Like, find the things you need to do, because then you are like at the sort of the apex of the roller coaster drop. Like, you're locked in and just shit goes crazy. So like, make sure you got everything you need. There's no going back. So you got your weapons, you got your XP, you've done all your things, because it gets a little more on rails, in the sense that, like, it's like, do this, do that. It's not as open as the game typically. It shifts to a new style of game, in the sense. But yeah, go do the things you need to do before you do that, because you will be stuck.
I wonder, should I get any more weapons in that game? I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. I've been real focused on that, and that's just, like I said, I'm really just trying to finish that before Forbidden West.
Yeah, Forbidden West
comes out here in February, or this month. By the time you hear this episode, so that's what I've been on. Ant-Man, what you been playing or watching or whatever?
Well, we've been playing a lot of Switch lately. I've been playing a lot of Mario Kart. I think it's called Big Brain Game.
Yes, Big Brain Academy.
Yeah, Big Brain Academy. Been playing a little bit of that. What else? Like, playing a little bit of Switch. I haven't received it yet, but I finally was able to get a PS5.
Oh shit! Nice.
Which store?
Costco.
Oh, good.
So Costco, first let me tell you, Telegram is not just for porn. Everybody,
I don't know what Telegram is to begin with. So,
man,
yeah. But now I want to hear about shopping and porn, because you can do them both in the same place. Like, you split screens. Like, how does this work?
So
tell me.
Yeah, Telegram is an app where it's just like a bunch of mini chats or chat rooms, and I was following Mama Deals on Instagram. And I seen on the link, it was like, if you want to see more deals during the day, join our Telegram. And I joined it, and like during the day, well, that's just one thing you do. You can find any of your interests once you download the Telegram app, and you'll find your interests. I'll just say it like that. So, so I joined the Telegram, and like I was sitting here at work the other day, and they were like, throughout the day they'll be like, oh, okay, Best Buy has PS5s right now. Go try. I've been trying that, like we've talked about, for months and months. I'll try Best Buy and Target. And one time I did mess up at Target. One time I had it in my cart at Target, and then I was like, is this the disc version or the regular version? So I went back, and I shouldn't have went back. I should have just checked out. But this time they had a bundle at Costco. You get headphones, another remote, a year of PlayStation Plus or something like that, and then another month of something else with PlayStation.
two
PlayStation
of
Now.
those. Yeah,
Yeah.
PlayStation Now. Something you get a month or something in a year or something. And then of course the dish version of the PlayStation it was like 7 something.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great price.
Yeah, I was gonna say Costco's bundles are pretty reasonable because when I got my son his Xbox, it very Costco again, and it was his Xbox, 2 controllers, a year of Game Pass Ultimate,
Mhm.
and the headphones as well. And I think it was like about the same price. And so when you do price it out, it's like, oh, actually, I'm like saving a couple bucks
Yeah.
because all those together should be a lot more. So
Yeah, because
Costco does it right.
another remote is $69.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
A pair of headphones, and another
like
pair of
99
Sony
bucks.
headphones, like $100 right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, just in those 2 items, you've already like matched it in a sense.
Yeah. A year of PlayStation Plus is $70.
Mm-hmm.
A month of PlayStation Now is it $10 or $20? I don't know. Either way, like I said,
Yeah.
I feel like that's a very, very
Yeah, you
solid
came up.
deal. Can't wait for you to play what's that built-in game called?
The
Astro's
Astrobot,
Playroom.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
a must play. Like honestly, it highlights the whole, especially the controller. It's baked into the game or to the
Now,
console.
unfortunately, what I literally just noticed last night and a little more today is my PlayStation controller is starting to suffer from drift. Fucking
Oh.
sucks. It is a
does.
known. Same thing with Nintendo controllers. But kind of a good time for it to start drifting because PlayStation then dropped all these new pretty colors.
Yeah,
I do
And,
like that pink one.
yeah, they're all
Exactly.
nice. Like all real good looking. But you know what? I've this is where I'm like, this is the old man in me, where it's like, back in my day, things lasted
Yeah.
because it's not a Nintendo thing, it's not a Sony thing, it's not just it's an all of them thing. Every fucking controller in this house, and we have multiples. So like,
Yeah.
I have a PlayStation controller that drifts. I have Nintendo controllers that drift. I have Xbox controllers that drift. They just drift, and it's like, it's not like I'm like mangling controllers. You know what I mean? I maybe play like 30 minutes to like maybe 45 minutes in a day.
Yeah.
Not enough to be like, I'm not mashing these fucking buttons. And so I think it's just poor quality manufacturing. That's just like, well, I mean, you could buy another $70 controller, and it's like, or you could just build it better.
Yeah,
Like that would be
sure.
nice.
I like Nintendo. It's relatively easy. They literally you can just ship them out to them. And
Oh
ship
yeah,
them
they're
back.
clean. They're just like,
Yeah.
oh, it's drifting, cool. Send it. We'll send it back.
Yeah. I don't know if Sony has anything like that, but I said it's something I have noticed. It's not super bad, but what it is like I'll hit the map screen.
Yeah.
My map's like over like going across like oh bro, I'm not touching anything. Why is this map moving? Yeah. So I figured that out with that particular controller. But I also want them I want them black faceplates. Because I don't know. The ideal would then be black PlayStation on the left side of my TV, black Xbox on the right side, and that white switch OLED in the middle underneath. I think I fuck with that.
Yeah. Because what I want to do is, and this is just for the being selfish. Anyone listening to this podcast, if you happen to get your hands or know where I can come up on a Xbox Series X Halo edition, I really want that so bad. So just so you can send it my way. Well, that's the thing. Every time it pops up, it's like it's gone.
Yeah,
so I do the same things. I'm all popping on things. But if anyone's got a hookup, let me know.
I want that Halo controller, the Halo series.
That's clean too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I'd like to do on my PlayStation though is to get it a little more PS3 looking. I would love a high gloss plates on it and just have that bitch real shiny. But on the flip side, if I just end up getting like the straight up black Xbox, then I would like my PlayStation to be that matte black as well. Like right now I have the white Xbox One, so it's fine with me because then they're both matchy. But if I end up the other way, then I'd like to go in that direction.
So besides from listening to your podcast,
Guardians of the Galaxy game. What other games do you guys recommend for PS5?
Miles Morales.
Yeah.
All right, I got that on PS4 though.
Then get the upgrade and be like, oh,
This is an upgrade.
the way
Yeah.
it feels in the controller. Just Miles Morales. Make sure you get the one that comes with the Spider-Man built in, the good version. So it is a must kind of situation, and that game is deserving of replay. You got
Did you play
the samurai game? What the fuck?
Yeah, I
is
was
that
about to
called?
say, have you played Ghost of Tsushima?
I have that on PS4 too.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to
Let me
see.
tell
I
you.
want to see what the remake looked like.
Oh, it's like to play it on a PS5 is a fucking game changer. It's like it's really something new. I'm looking at my list right now. Ratchet and Clank is a good one to get. Let's see. So I didn't finish too many last year. Those are probably one of my best ones.
Deathloop.
Definitely. Yeah, Deathloop's good too. Yeah, Deathloop is good.
Deathloop was my game of the year last year. So hands down, that's my genre.
Yeah. I think we're still in the phase though. I think you're coming in kind of at a good point because it's like that sort of first year run is, in my opinion, usually pretty weak. But now we're going to start hitting that stride where like Horizon's going to be ill. God of War's going to be ill. Like we're going to start seeing these games like start popping.
Yeah. So
and at the same time, you'll catch these games on a sale too. Like Ratchet and Clank, you'll probably find it pretty cheap.
Yeah. I very much am enjoying Ratchet and Clank. Like I said, I got on this Horizon kick where I'm like, man, it's almost time. I got to finish it. Whereas Ratchet and Clank, I can finish it at any time. Plus, like I said, I got pretty deep into Ratchet and Clank before I was like, let me do this Horizon shit right quick.
Yeah.
So you'll be fine, man. Yeah. Plus you got your PS Plus, so you'll get a couple of games free every month.
Yeah.
You got PS Now, so you can kind of putz around with that and see what you think of that service. That service is rumored to be going away, in that they're going to combine PS Plus and PS Now into one thing that kind of resembles more Game Pass.
Yeah, like the Game Pass Ultimate.
We'll see if that plays out. But right now, it's codenamed Spartacus, and that is the chat of the town. That by years in, you might have a new PlayStation Online situation to fuck with, man. Charles, have you been playing anything in particular that just
on my end, I've been doing okay, so I have one of those backbone controllers. Oh, my bag's way back.
Yeah.
I love that thing so much. Like it fits it. Like what is it? Ergonomically feels a lot better than the Switch, and it's like the same size, but just like the way it just feels in general, it's like it's good. It's got a nice weight. Foam pops in nicely. What's really tight about it is it has its own app, right? That organizes all of your services into one screen. So when you put the controller in and then you launch the Backbone app, there's Game Pass, like a video game dashboard. And so instead of like on the PlayStation where it's all your games as tiles, it's like here's Game Pass, here's PlayStation, here's your iOS games or whatever you have just all laid out, and then you just sort of select them from there. And I got mine like on like a Black Friday sale. I think I paid like $70 or something like that, because I think they're like 99. But then just peep Amazon, like put an alert, because they did a sale where they had that bitch for like $45. I was like, damn, that was the move right there.
An ad came up for it today on Instagram, and I clicked on it. And it's like Backbone in 3 months, Game Pass Ultimate, $100. And I was like, that's actually probably it's a good price, because it seems to be a solid controller. And 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate that's a good deal.
But here's the catch: only for new subscribers.
Oh yeah, they eat a dick. I'm not doing that. I'm not a new subscriber, clearly.
Exactly, because that was the catch too, where it's just like, oh, this is tight, couple months, and then I ended up giving it to someone because I was like, it's only for new subscribers. So I have been playing a game on Game Pass called Death's Door, which has gotten
Zelda,
a lot of Zelda-like comparisons. It's a ton of fun. It plays really well. And I've been playing it on the Backbone. So as my wife and I are like watching TV, I can pop that up, because it's a lot more like old school Zelda, where it's just like exploration. It's not like heavy on the story or the dialogue. There is a story, but it's not like you could just wander aimlessly and do the things and shoot arrows and shit, and it's fun. I highly recommend playing that one, and I believe it's now out on PlayStation and maybe Switch or coming soon.
It's $20, right?
Yeah, I think it's $20. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I would say it's worth the price. Been doing that, and then also been playing Far Cry 6, and that's a good game for right now because I'm just shooting shit, just blowing shit up, you know. So it's just nice to be like, I'm not too like deep in the weeds with like a storyline and stuff like that. The story's pretty okay, but for the most part, I'm just like shoot those guys, you know. And then just we've just been chilling. Like we're doing the same thing, watching Boba Fett. Really enjoying that show. Thought I was gonna get a little taste of Grogu yesterday, but then they dogged me out. Bunch of punks. I have watched like half of the first episode of Abbott Elementary. I just haven't had the chance to dip back in, but it does seem super interesting. Wife and I, we've been watching this latest season of like RuPaul's Drag Race. That's kind of like our big thing to watch together, and just wrapped up Yellow Jackets, and we gave up on Dexter.
Wow, fair enough. You know what? I don't think I've heard anybody talk about that new season of Dexter either. So
Yeah, because it's whack.
fair enough.
I said what I said. It came from my chest. So
Well, there you go, people. We have provided for you some entertainment, I hope, for a couple of hours. Relax with it and enjoy. Oh man, my man just popped out the fucking feed just as I'm wrapping up the show.
He was like, I'm done with Chalpy.
I was like, damn, I'm just trying to finish up, man. You had to dip out on me?
And it said stop recording, and I was talking to you guys, and it never came back, so I refreshed.
Oh, fair enough. Well,
I was asking Chaffee what do you think is going to happen in the second season of Yellow Jackets.
Ooh, what will happen in the second season of Yellow Jackets? That's a good question. I think it has a great opportunity. I'm trying to say it without like spoiling it for anyone who hasn't watched. One, if you haven't watched Yellow Jackets, go. That show is really, really good. I really think that it allowed for opportunity to expand the storyline. Still leaves a lot of good questions in place. For example, like that ending scene where we see the dog in the little cubby hole. It's like, well, who did that? Is it homegirl tripping, or is it this whole new group we just learned about? You know,
or is that son crazy still?
Or is the son crazy, right? Because then it makes me flip back too, like who actually put the fucking red paint or blood on the wall, whatever it was. Who did kill the guy? Like it leaves a lot of good questions. So it's like it's the opportunity to build things in. Now, the one thing that does worry me about this show is it's too much on the Lost timeline or pathway. Like right now, we're just learning. Literally has a plane crash, and we're just learning about the people who like survived the plane crash. But at this last episode, we learned that there's this sort of cult group, hence the tailies, and it keeps flashbacking, to real time, to the past type of thing, where we learn everyone's storylines. That I'm like, I really hope they learn to hold it tight and don't start to get really fucking convoluted,
Maybe I need to watch Lost. I've never watched that show. Is this on Netflix?
I think you can watch it Netflix and Hulu. Like, I think it's still streaming.
Lost ended in a way that was upsetting, but it was pretty good through most of its run.
Yeah, and I'll say this: I feel like I'm one of the few people that I really liked that finale. Like, I was like, yeah, this makes sense. Like, I totally got it. But I think it was just different from the rest of the show. Like, the rest of the show was very, like, a little fucking Twilight Zone at times, And so it kind of, like, it got lost. No pun intended.
All right. Well, like I said, I was in the midst of trying to wrap it up, and Anthony disappeared. Threw my whole game off. Chaos, I tell you.
I'll probably most likely watch it on Amazon Prime because Hulu sucks.
Non-commercial Hulu is my jam, so just want you to know that, man.
Man, that shit is like $10 more.
Right? It is like $5 more tops. It was, and
yeah, but I've been OG Hulu, so I'm only paying like $3. Like, I want to do that.
Like with Discovery Plus, no commercials is only $2 more.
I told you they played me, right?
What?
How?
Okay, so I'll tell this tale, then I'm gonna wrap up. Discovery Plus had a deal that's like, hey yo, if you pay for a year of Discovery Plus for $30, we'll give you a Fire Stick. It'd be great. I'm like, oh yeah, fucking bet all day. I would do that because we're supposed to be working on a show on that shit, which I have not even done anything with. And they gave me the commercial version of it, so I just hit them up like, hey, what do I need to do to get the non-commercial version? You can't do that. Like, the fuck you mean I can't do that? Like, nah, we don't got no way for you to do that. And I'm like, bruh, I do not fuck commercials. I don't want the service. Can you just refund me my money? And like, I'm gonna take this up. I'm gonna kick this up a level. I'll let you know. And then like 2 weeks pass and no response. But then somebody hit me back. It's like, yeah, we can't give you back your money, but you can still get that Fire Stick if you want it. And I'm like, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
So I have a year of Discovery Plus to pay for it. So whatever. But I do get. I were I to use Discovery Plus, it would have commercials. Vanessa has been using it. Has been loving it because she like. That's I watch all my trash television. I'm like, enjoy, babe. So
I'm sorry about your experience, but Discovery Plus is neck and neck with HBO Max for me. Like, it has every single flavor of ice cream you can think of.
The Baskin Robbins of streaming services.
Yes.
The only thing I wish is that, like, I feel like HBO Max just needs. It's still in the early phases, so I get it, but it just needs to. The interface needs to be a little cleaner. It's still on the clunky phase, you know.
Yes.
It's a toddler, you know. It's just learning how to walk.
I mean, I feel like it could be better, but any app you using where you gotta dig in the corner to pause it, I'm not messing with it no more. Like, that's why Hulu is like, if I'm not pressing pause right in the middle of the screen, your app is trash.
Well, what are you watching it on? My pause is right in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying like Hulu, like I usually watch it on this nice size tablet. It's not small.
Okay.
And you oh shit, that bitch turned on?
It really did.
But yeah, right, like still like the pause is so small. Like every other app I usually use, pause is right in the middle, play is right in the middle, and then like 15 seconds this way, 15 seconds that way. Hulu need to get it together.
The Hulu app is made by the people who made many of your favorite Star Wars games on the GameCube and N64. Just want to point that out to you. They also made Turrican, if you remember those games.
I do.
Same guys who made those games made the Hulu app. It's funny how that works out for people in software. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever possible. That is Apple Podcasts and, of course, on Spotify. I'm telling you, Spotify's made it real easy for you, and I'm going to ask that you hook your boy up and go do that. Let's see. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel, Stays Crunchy. Our Twitch channel is Stays Crunchy and Milk. We are Stays Crunchy Milk on TikTok. Only thing on the TikTok currently is our review of the Taco Bell wings, and I like it. I think it's a pretty good video. Follow us on Twitter at Skimpod, SKIMPOD. If you want to support the show financially, got a few bucks to toss our way. Consider joining us over on Patreon, where members of the $5 and above tier get extra content each month and early access to new shows. And we be flipping show ideas all the time, so shit can happen whenever. We also have merch available over at tpublic.com/user/StageCrunchyMilk, all one word. Again, I am looking for designers or the like to make me some new shit with the logo or whatever you think fits the show's bill, so we can get some more designs up on our TeePublic store. So if you know somebody, have them holler at your boy, because we're trying to make that shit pop. Feel free to give us a call, 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. We'd certainly love to hear from you. I know, to those people who called us this week, that we have multiple phone calls that I need to be playing on this show. But half the show ain't here. So I can't not play them when I'm missing that many people. So we'll play them next week. If you want to call again in the meantime, go for it. If we've said something that sparked you to want to reach out, please feel free to do so. Again, we'll get those played next week. Thank you so much for reaching out to us in general. It's very, very nice of you. Missing men this week is Lunchbox 2099. Again, send him some sweet nasty love. It's the homie. It's the real ODP in these Twitter streets. You know what I'm saying, out here hustling and RVing. The RV in Puerto Rican is what I refer to him as now. It's my man's. So again, show him some love. That is Tatum 216.
Good night, everybody.
My man Chaffee, man, tell them where they can find you. Tell them what you care to share with them, so forth and so on.
So yeah, you could find me on Twitter at El Chaufie. That's ELCHAUFIE. You could peep the podcast Cadillac on Mars, where it's me, my homie T, Delvin Cox joins us as well, and sometimes Sean. We just kind of it's a version of this show, you know, but just I guess it's the same as this show with me on it, you know. And but we just talk some wild shit. We just have a good time. We just get caught up. It's just like homies kicking it, you know. So it's a great time over there. We are a monthly podcast. So I always tell people we're like Bone Thugs out here. It's the first of the month, you know. But there are some bonus special episodes here and there where I don't invite anyone to be on, just me being selfish. And so then I just kind of interview people that I find interesting, and those drop on the 15th, like a welfare check, 1st and 15th, you know. So that's just how we do it out here. So yeah, give us a listen as well. Cadillac on Mars. You can find us on all the streaming platforms. Man, thank you guys for having me on tonight. I really appreciate you guys.
Thank you for jumping on last notice. With short notice, my guy. I know that is oftentimes a challenge. So certainly glad to have you. Did your wife just come in talking crazy?
No, I brought my son in right now. We got to get a little convo going on.
Oh,
okay.
Good.
I understand.
I wanted to call it Tony. Shh.
Let Drippy G know that I put some respect on his name.
All right.
I was wondering who was filling up your cup the whole. You was drinking the whole time. I wonder who was filling up your cup all those times.
And I'm sipping some water, man. I can't get hot. I got blood tests later this week. I got to do old man shit. Got to go to my first colonoscopy class tomorrow.
You're gonna wake up and be like, all right, that happened. It's truly not nothing to worry about, and I'm glad you're getting it done, because I'm saying that's
for sure.
We should all be doing. I am the Internet Stereo 713. You've just been podcasting. I know you loved it. Peace.
Hey, what happened to you? You used to be beautiful.